Greetings, and welcome to House of R, a Ringerverse podcast on the Ringer Podcast Network.
So I hear.
I'm Mallory Rubin.
Yeah.
Joining me today, asking, what's the plural for eat shit? It's Joanna Robinson.
Sir, yes, sir. Hello, nice to see you.
We are here
Mm-hmm.
to dive into the series premiere of Lanterns.
Mhm.
Very excited for that. We are also going to talk about some X-Men casting news and everything else that we got to witness in person at D23 at the Honda Center in Anaheim on
Surely
Friday
not
night.
everything we saw there on Friday night. Surely
Mostly
not.
just going to talk about Gato, and we will do that all right after this. All right, programming reminders. We're going to be potting about Lanterns on Mondays.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Monday Lantern pods throughout the season, this 8-episode season. We're excited. What else is going on in the coming days and weeks? Well, we're going to Baltimore.
Yeah,
we're
no
going
big
to Camden
deal.
Yards this week.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Mallory's just throwing out the first pitch at an Orioles game.
Weather permitting.
Oh, is it?
Some rain in the forecast.
Really?
Getting a little nervous.
We
The
might get
podcast goes on no matter what. Be there for the live show pregame no matter what. Hopefully the first pitch and the watch along for the game remain intact.
Well, okay. On the one hand, I would say surely the universe won't do this to you. But on the other hand,
I mean,
do you feel like you've manifested this because you're worried about your pitch?
no, at this point, I think I just need to spike the ball 10
Okay.
feet in front of my face, embrace the embarrassment, and
Okay.
get through it. You know,
Okay.
I lean in no matter what. No matter what, it's a memory. That's what I've decided. The pitch is going to be a debacle,
How rainy?
but I will enjoy
How
it.
rainy does it have to be for it to be a rain out?
Well, there can be delays.
Okay, a rain delay.
But an outright cancellation of the game, the rain has to be pretty bad, especially at this point in the season because it's tough to make up games.
Well, let's just do a light summer rain, perhaps. Is that what
Break
is the
some
East
of
Coast,
the humidity with a little
Yeah.
thunderstorm.
Is the East Coast capable of that?
Maybe we do some thunderstorms on Wednesday and Friday and keep it clear on Thursday.
Why not?
Throwing that out there. If you're coming to the Oriole game, we cannot wait to see you.
If
The
you're
podcast topic,
in control of the weather in Baltimore,
take care of us, please.
please do.
Podcast topic is going to be a surprise for the people in the room in
Oh.
real time.
Okay,
Yeah. And then everybody else will find out a few days later.
got it.
Yeah.
It's a surprise to me in real time that we're not announcing that.
That way we have flexibility, you know?
If we decide to change our mind, great.
Who
Love it.
knows? You never know. Guess what else we're doing soon? Oppenheimer.
We've scheduled it.
Yes.
Sean is committed.
He has. Yeah.
If
Put it-
all goes according to plan,
Yeah.
it's on the schedule.
It is on the old Google Cal. And then, speaking of things on the Google Cal, Buffy season 5, parts 1 and 2.
You have watched the episode Fool for Love.
I have. Yeah.
And that was
It was
very
wonderful.
exciting for me
Absolutely wonderful.
to enjoy from afar.
Immediately, some new gifts have entered our texting. You
Very
know,
important.
we've got some new references, so that's exciting.
How can people follow along though? What do you think?
I would say
At House of Our Pod on social.
yeah, do that.
Email us, hobbitsanddragons@gmail.com.
Do that.
We haven't really gotten any Lanterns emails. I checked this morning. So you guys, if you're watching
okay.
Lanterns, please do
Send
email
emails,
us. I want
please.
to. This is kind of a theory show. I want to hear
That's
people's
right.
theories about what's going on at the end of Lanterns.
That's right. Get in there. Get in the inbox. Follow the pod on Spotify.
Yeah.
Or wherever you get your podcasts. You can watch
Watch
full video
us.
episodes. Exciting. And follow, of course, the Ringerverse YouTube channel. You gotta follow the new Instagram and TikTok though. We're having fun.
At
Who
House
knows
of
what
Our
we'll be
Pod.
posting from
Baltimore.
Baltimore? Maybe the
I plan
House
to
of
go
Our
to
team.
a museum. Is that good social content?
Is that true?
Yes.
That's delightful. Wonderful.
I like to go to museums.
Science
when I'm in
Center,
the city.
Aquarium. How many Baltimore things are you going to cram into your brief
There's like
stint?
a big library that I want to go
Oh,
to,
sure. Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
of
there's
course.
an art museum I want to go to.
Some delightful bookstores too that I'll
You'll
hit
guide
you,
me to?
I'll hit you up.
Warning.
Spoiler warning: if it happened in the first episode of Lanterns, it's gonna come up today. And in theory, some other things from the DCU or
Sure.
DC Comics could come up today. I think that will be fairly light.
but possible. And also, if it happened at the Honda Center in Anaheim,
right.
California,
That's right.
last Friday night,
That is all fair game.
that's on the table.
today. Anything else, Joe? Before we get to the D23 check-in, any other programming reminders? Any other spoiler warnings of any variety of any sort?
Not that I can think of.
Fantastic. Let's chat about D23 news. Okay. First of all, let me say this. This was my first time going to D23. I had never been.
Mhm.
And I was excited to go.
Mhm.
Dare I say I was determined to go.
Yeah.
We went.
Probably won't go again.
We went.
I mean, the thing about D23 is that I feel like it used to be what used to be true because I've gone several times, and I think what used to be true is it used to be an interesting combination of like for the fans and for making news, like almost like like an upfront like San Diego Comic-Con. We're announcing a bunch of casting and news, and this is what's happening.
Yeah,
I would say now that they've moved it to the Honda Center, this big arena, it is playing more like a big spectacle for fans, which is fine. Like that's great. It exists. It's a fan event. It's for fans. It's for Disney people.
Fans, yeah.
And that's not broadly what we cover. There was like, I don't know, a 45-minute segment, maybe if even that, of Marvel and Lucasfilm, which is what we were there for. And there was some other stuff that we were interested in, for sure.
I was there for Gato.
I mean, you enjoyed the Pixar segment, so did I, but like that's not why we were there.
I know, it's true.
But it was fun to be there with all our pals.
It was. As
The Midnight
usual, it was
Boys.
a new experience to share together.
And it was
that
like
was a joy.
quite the sojourn, and we were all in it together. And they went in and recorded a pod immediately after, and you and I went home and went to bed. So
that's not true. We both stopped for some fast food on the freeway.
Immediate regret, horrible decision. Anyway,
oh God,
Marvel.
We have some new inside jokes from our experience there, so that's nice. That's just a fun thing for us, for the two of us to know.
Aren't they all, John? I think we can share that with the Bad Babies. John Favreau got up there and he was like, this is something of a personal project. He said, this is something of a personal project, talking about Oswald, right? Yeah. Or maybe the lion thing, one of the things he was talking about.
Yeah.
And Mallory was like, aren't they all, John? It was genuinely very funny, but also maybe you had to be there and like beleaguered from the whole experience, like beaten down by the whole experience, which we kind of were.
Referenced it on the way to the parking garage later, and you were like, are you laughing at your own joke?
Someone has to.
Exactly. Someone asked
She was just muttering, aren't they all, John, to herself and laughing. All right.
Great stuff. Okay, so Marvel.
Yeah.
X-Men casting news, some of which was known, some of which was new in real time, and not all of which is out after just D23. More to come, presumably.
Right.
Take us through what we got on the D23 stage.
Well, I will just say this was like a bizarre... I've heard from a ton of people across disciplines that this was like a bizarrely sort of muted announcement after so much anticipation, at least in our camp, about sort of this announcement. Dare I say it was the main reason why we were there.
Oh, no, there's no question.
So the fact that it did not really play in the room, and then also I heard it didn't really play backstage, and also I heard it didn't really play remotely. So I'm just,
interesting.
It just wasn't really like
it was
the smash
very muted in the room. And again, I had never been to D23, so I was like, okay, people in the room seem genuinely way more hyped for like Camp Rock
3,
a thing you had to explain to me that
they
I did not know
lost their
what that
minds
was.
for Camp Rock 3, and they're like, X-Men, never heard of them.
Yes.
Anyway,
Some of it maybe was like the pace of kind of rushing through.
Yeah, so Feige had
like
a very brief time on the stage, and he had to sort of like bam his way through some things. So X-Men casting. So 2028 for Marvel is X-Men in May, Ghost Rider in July, and Black Panther 3 in December.
Right.
3 Marvel movies, which used to be the norm, but it now seems extraordinary in 2028. So here's the casting. Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, we already knew.
That's right.
Kit Connors as Scott Summers had been announced.
Thrilling.
Chris Abbott as Professor X his name had been tossed around, but this was sort of like a big deal and a big shocker for a lot of people. Samara Weaving as Emma Frost had been announced. Indy Neverready as Rogue. A lot of people thought she might be playing Mystique.
That's right. Yeah.
But she was announced as Rogue. Maya Boyd was like a very last minute announcement as Storm. And then Adam Driver, who I have been like, he's definitely not doing X-Men, but he definitely is doing X-Men. I was very wrong. Did this bizarre remote video. The idea for the video is really cute. He's like, oh, you guys said I got hired for X-Men,
so
I'm here on set. That was very cute. But then he was like, and the crowd was cheering, so it was like hard to hear everything, or maybe I'm old. And then he was like, I'm playing Magneto. And the crowd was like, oh my God. And he's like, no, just kidding. I'm playing Nathaniel Mulberry, right?
Yes.
And like, It was so because like a lot of people didn't even hear that part because they just reacted to Magneto and didn't hear that part. Also, a lot of people don't know who Nathaniel Milbury is, which is like a
definitely could have just said Mr. Sinister,
which is like a more obscure alter ego for Mr. Sinister. So it was just like a really bizarre, like sort of like what's happening?
Yes.
So that's but I'm excited for this cast. I should say after all of that, I think this is a great cast. I think the rumors that Charles Melton may have turned down Beast or is at least like
devastating,
making them pay and they haven't negotiated
good. Get your money, Charles,
or something like that. But like, you know, Feige said we haven't cast everyone, so like probably it's Beast that we're waiting for. Perhaps a Mystique, perhaps a Magneto, or maybe they're not doing Magneto in the first movie.
Are we not going to get Magneto and Wolverine in the first film?
I don't know. Well, Wolverine, I can understand why we wouldn't, right? But like,
interesting.
Would it be interesting to maybe not do a Magneto? To sort of like, because the Xavier-Magneto dynamic, which has been so central for both generations of film casts that we've seen, maybe they're like, we want to do something a little different. And if we wait to introduce a Magneto, then it's about Charles and his students. And that's a bit more, you know, focused on that dynamic.
And leading with Sadie Sink as Jean Grey and Kit Connor as Scott as Cyclops, Mr. Sinister with those two characters. That really makes sense. It's like a focus of this initial film. I agree with you. I think there are two distinct buckets. There's how did the announcement play in the anticlimactic kind of like, oh, we're done. That's oh, wait, was he? Is he? Oh, so he's not Magneto. It was all very weird. And then there's the actual excitement around the cast, which I think is great. And those are like distinct reactions. Yeah. We are, in terms of the timing, because we were there with the Midnight Boys, PPO, they talked about this on their pod. I think all of us were like, boy, this just would have like landed more if we had gotten to hear this news at Hall H at Comic-Con. But obviously, definitionally, sequencing-wise, that couldn't happen because Spider-Man Brand New Day wasn't out yet.
It's not just that, they hadn't signed the
contracts. Yeah. So like, this was the moment to do it. Alas, we had to make room for all of the other.
Do you think they should have waited for New York Comic-Con to do it?
Possibly. Yeah.
Possibly.
But I guess they gotta, you know, make their own event marquee. I don't know. It feels like everybody there would have been absolutely just delighted with the Bluey and Ice Age announcements and would have been fine, honestly, if they had waited. So something to think about.
Yeah.
You introduced me to Heartstopper a couple years ago, and our Sadie Sink enthusiasm is well established, obviously. We are huge Kit Connor fans, so I'm just thrilled about Sadie Sink and Kit Connor as Jean and Scott. I think they're just wonderful. I, like you, am a millennial, and thus Girls is an incredibly important part of my life and viewing history, and thus...
I met Andrew Reynolds yesterday. It was very important to me.
Wow.
It was great.
Incredible stuff. Jealous. Look, Chris Abbott, Charlie from Girls, being here as Professor X, and Adam Driver. I mean, the fact that two of our girls' centerpieces are here in this movie. Funnier people are like, it's Kylo Ren. Not us. I mean, we're also like, it's Kylo Ren.
But also the narrative is like, this is the narrative that came up when Adam Driver was cast as Kylo Ren, but it's just sort of like all these opportunities for the guys from Girls, and where are the opportunities for the girls from Girls? Great question. Have you seen the clip circling from Girls of Marnie Allison Williams' character reacting to Charlie shaving his head and her being like, so she's like, put it back, essentially.
He has a great head of hair.
Oh, so yeah, he does. Great curls. But just had a baby with Aubrey Plaza.
That's right.
Just wrapped up a run on Broadway. There's a ton of Broadway actors here.
That's right. Like Maya Boyd, and this is awesome and so exciting for this performer.
Maya Boyd, but like Sadie Sink and Kit Connor and Chris Abbott were all on Broadway in the last couple of years. And so this is just like very exciting for the theater kid energy here.
I have not seen Obsession, but I understand that to everybody alive who has seen Obsession, the rogue casting is huge. I've not seen it, so I can't comment, but I know that
it's really funny because
Mickey from Obsession. It's a big deal.
The big pick on Our Rewatchables, when we did Obsession, we were literally talking about what Indy Neveretti should do.
Yeah.
And I said she shouldn't do this, but she wants to do it, and who would say no to, she's an X-Men fan.
That's right.
So she wants to do it. And who would say no to this paycheck at this time in her life? I was just making the argument that because whether or not listeners of this podcast care, the Best Actress race is quite weak this year. And there is a possibility that she could have won with a combination of like Amy Madigan in Weapons energy and Mikey Madison in Honora energy. This sort of like ingenue meets this horror movie made a ton of money. I was like really pushing this narrative. I think her signing on to X-Men actually kind of nukes her chances of getting Best Actress this year because it signals something else that she wants to do for her career, which is great and exciting for those of us who are X-Men fans.
Right.
But I was just sort of like, as she's taking her, like, what's her first step after Obsession? And is it chasing an Oscar that she maybe could have or could not have won?
Right.
Or is it chasing this financial security and like a big franchise that she's excited to be a part of? Those are like, they're like two roads diverged, and this is the one she took. And I'm excited. I think she'll be a great Rogue.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think she'll be fantastic. I'm excited for you to see Obsession. I know you will eventually.
I don't think so.
I think you will.
Not now that I've heard about the animal violence. I think I'm out.
I think you can just skip that scene.
Okay.
I feel like it's
maybe if you give me specific timestamps, but I can't skip parts of movies that I watch. It's just not constitutionally something I'm capable of.
Can we just like put a hand in front of your face?
Maybe we'll consider it. Okay, the Doomsday trailer. We already covered this on our Comic-Con pod. If you want to hear our thoughts on that trailer, check out that pod. It was the same trailer we had already seen at Comic-Con. Now it's out in the wider world, so everyone can share it. Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr. and Haley Atwell were on stage. Have you heard of them, lads?
They let Chris talk this time.
They sure did. They sure did. He got to say like one whole sentence this time.
But another great knit polo.
Oh my God, incredible stuff. The knit polo era is just a real thrill. I love it. Vision Quest trailer, that was a highlight.
This was my number one moment of the D23 experience. I thought this was incredible. We're about to talk for a very long time about how handsome you find Kyle Chandler. And Kyle Chandler is undoubtedly handsome and charming and all the things you want him to be in Lanterns, like without question.
Yes.
But he is like, fastball down the middle, your type in this, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Paul Bettany in Vision Quest. That's for me.
Great.
That's 3-piece suit, Paul Bettany in a mind palace.
Wonderful.
That's for me. This is incredible. I am so excited for this. October 14th is when this comes out. We got Jarvis is here.
That's right.
We've got, all the AIs that have existed in the MCU, in this sort of Stark verse, are here with human appearance inside of this mind palace that Vision has built. And I think that's, it's long known to be the premise, but to see it, just to see Jarvis is so exciting.
Yeah. Ultron in a human form. I mean, God, what a time to be alive.
I mean, Spader.
Wonderful.
Spader, great. Henry Lewis and Jonathan Sayer are playing Dummy and You. You see them a couple times in the trailer, these sort of like match set kind of guys. They're also theater guys who I'm really, really excited to see. They're in The Play That Goes Wrong from Mischief Theater, which my nephew Julian is obsessed with. Oh. So I'm really, really excited to
Julian,
see them
he's
here.
really cool.
He is really cool. Yeah.
They're both super cool.
Haven't you heard how cool they are?
I have, actually. They are cool kids.
And Emily Hampshire is as Edith. I think we get a shot of her with like fun goggles on her head. And we get Friday recast, but Orla Brady is playing Friday with this like super ego book.
Yes.
There's just all these like
fun
visual things like the milk in the refrigerator is like infinitary, or like the popcorn that he's eating in the movie theater where he's watching footage from WandaVision and from Age of Ultron says like popped memories on the, it's just going to be like a really fun, like WandaVision, like Agatha all along, just like a really fun to just sort of spot the cute little clues as we try. Yes. I mean, that's part of why we loved WandaVision and Agatha all along is it's like they were incredible cast, really well executed. And then also it was a puzzle for us to try to figure out, and for the characters to figure out what was going on at the same time. And that just like scratches something in my brain that's really, really exciting. So I am just like, I've watched this trailer 20 times. I'm so excited for this show. And, like the wrapping up of the trilogy. And we have Tommy's here.
That's right.
So he's
very prominently featured in the trailer.
Yeah. Like first you just see him on a monitor. You're like, is that going to be it? No, he's all over this trailer. I'm working on how to pronounce this young actor's name. I've been told it's like Rory, but like with a pause in the middle. So it's like Rory, kind of.
Okay.
He's Scottish. I don't know if you've seen it spelled out. It is difficult to read for American eyeballs, but I believe it's something like Rory. And I've heard he's really, 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 really good in this. So I'm just like
Nice.
excited. I don't know if we're gonna get Joe Locke at some point.
Surely at some point in some capacity.
Towards the end,
Yeah.
has to be
Yeah,
there
yeah.
as Billy. And like there is a woman in the trailer who I don't think Elizabeth Olsen is in this, but like there is a woman in the trailer who looks like Wanda. So if that's another character fucking with him and like dressed up like
Right.
Wanda and inside of his mind or something like that, it's a
mhm.
possibility. And then the whole premise of like looking back on your life. What's interesting is I don't know if you saw the movie Eternity with Lizzie Olsen and Miles Teller and Callum Turner that came out last year, but it's sort of about like a woman choosing in her afterlife of sort of like whether to go with her husband or this her first husband or her second husband and spend eternity with them. And there's this like museum of memory sequence and it's very similar to this. So I just thought it was like really interesting to have this like thinking about Lizzie Olsen in that movie when I was like looking at him like walking down the movie theater hallway and there's like these giant movie posters that have to do with things that happen in his life and stuff like that. Anyway, point being, Vision Quest.
We're hyped.
I'm so excited.
Can't wait to rewatch WandaVision. It's been, as we confronted the other day, more than half a decade.
Yeah.
Which is fucking nuts.
I'm about to have my 5th year anniversary here
at
The Ringer and it came out before that.
Right. We didn't pod about it together.
So we have a plan to do a WandaVision rewatch episode, which we're really, really excited about.
Can't fucking wait.
Star Wars?
Star Wars. We got to see a trailer for Ahsoka Season 2. Thought the overall trailer vibe was exciting and interesting. They've not improved the look of Thrawn.
I thought they improved it slightly.
I actually thought it looked worse.
Okay.
But we only got to see it
He's
once.
like a paler blue.
Yes, he looked chalkier. And
He did. But the paint looked less wet. Like he looked so moist as Thrawn in season 1.
That's true.
I was just excited to see my babe Shin
Maybe
Hati.
that's you literally 10 seconds before she appeared, turned to me and Steve and you're like, remember?
I was like, remember Shin Hati? And then she showed up.
Great stuff. But the thing is, like you said earlier, we went for the X-Men casting. Everyone's buzzing about the X-Men casting. That was not the hammer of the night. Starfighter was.
Right.
We built toward the trailer, which, gotta say, lamentably, they only played once. We were both like, and here they go. They're about to play it again. And then they didn't.
I tried to start a chant that was like, play it again. And maybe if we had been part of the wave that they did earlier, the crowd would have felt the need to like go with me. But we were not team players. So they were not team players for me.
What'd you think of the Starfighter trailer? We got our first glimpse.
Okay. I thought it looked great.
Same.
Honestly, I thought I did. I was talking to someone yesterday. I was like, I have doubts about Sean Levy. And they're like, is that because he's never made a good movie? And I was like, yeah. To me, my tastes, yeah. But
how dare you?
Sorry. But Kate Oberon is like an incredible name for a character. I actually thought the footage looked great. His jacket.
Sick jacket.
Ryan Gosling's got to have a cool jacket in most of his movies.
That's right.
You know, so he's getting his Ghost Rider on a little early. Mia Goth, Matt Smith, Aaron Pierre, who we are freshly interested in. So
our guy Daniel Ings.
Yeah, looks great.
I thought the trailer looked awesome. Very fun. Looks like it's going to have like a real kind of hip, edgy energy. We didn't see much about the plot.
No, mostly about the vehicle.
Mostly about the fastest starfighter.
Mostly about the
known to man.
The titular vehicle.
The galaxy. And guess what? That was enough for a first glimpse.
The
cool jacket.
The like water vapor imagery we thought like looked really cool. Yeah.
I'm hyped. I'm excited for the trailer to be released hopefully soon. Maybe that'll be around New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? And then we can pour over it in more detail. Yeah, Kate Oberon is a sick name. That's a good
Kate Oberon.
Any other highlights? Let's actually talk about Pixar for a second.
Yeah.
For a couple reasons. One,
we had a great time with the Pixar presentation.
I thought
good job, Pete Doctor.
Genuinely easily, I thought the Pixar stretch was the highlight of the night. Everything that Pixar showed us looked great. Gato just looks delightful. This is about a monster cat.
Gato was the last thing they showed, and they showed a number of things, and every single time something new came up, Mallory was like, Gato?
Is it Gato? Show us Gato.
Gato time?
Gato looks amazing. You have decided that our new mantra will be
get to Gato.
Get to Gato. When we have a tough day,
and
I'm like, I can't do it anymore, man.
You got to get to Gato.
You're going to text me, get to Gato.
Got to get to Gato. It's March 2027. You have to survive long enough to see Gato.
I can do that.
go.
March
Got to go.
2027. I can't make promises beyond. Coco 2.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm lost my mind.
Just the glimpse. We didn't see like footage, but some images and stuff.
Concept art. Miguel is
Miguel
older.
has grown. Instant
Distressing.
tears. We learned something
Yeah.
during the Coco 2 glimpse, and it is that our beloved colleague, friend,
Oh yeah.
creative soulmate.
The most important news out of D23.
And out of Van.
Sorry.
That Van has not seen Coco. And I just think there are a few certainties in life, but Van loving Coco is one of them. Van will love
Should we
that
do
movie.
a special Dia de los Muertos episode where we
Put it on the
cover
calendar.
Coco with Van?
Can someone just send Van a calendar invite for
Yeah.
that right now? Don't tell him what it's about.
Yeah. We'll just watch Coco with Van. We'll watch it here, and then we'll record immediately after as the tears are still streaming down his face.
Fantastic.
Mama Coco was featured in the concept art. Benjamin Bratt, looking very handsome, came out to talk about how his character
So dapper.
and Nestor. I thought it was going to be a Gael, but Benjamin Bratt,
Also
a
wonderful.
great second option here. And Ernesto de la Cruz, very excited. November 2029.
Delightful.
Coco 2.
Incredibles 3. Thrilling. Those movies are great.
A new mysterious. Those children have not aged. Unlike Miguel, those children are the same age.
No.
But yeah, that's exciting.
Ghost
And
Market.
Ghost Market looked great.
Just absolutely delightful.
Yeah.
So the Pixar stuff looks great. That's exciting. Anything else from all of the other stuff we saw? Percy, Season 3, Oswald, Tangled, Bluey, Ice Age, Camp Rock 3. Anything at
The
all.
Greatest Showman live.
Any other highlights?
Shout out the what is it, like the stage managers from Greatest Showman who we ran into in the
That's
elevator.
right. Yeah.
The aerial work was very cool in that
really was.
presentation.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Tangled, I will say, Catherine Hahn got a huge reaction
Yeah.
at the Honda Center.
She's a legend.
The entire arena just lost their marbles for Catherine Hahn because they showed very little footage. It was like the actors who play Flynn Rider and I don't remember what Tangled herself's name is. I mean, is it Rapunzel or is it
Couldn't tell ya.
something more fun than that? Anyway, Flynn Rider and Tangled herself
Let's see. Let's look it up. Let's see. Tangled, 2010.
were like did a little fun.
Rapunzel.
Oh yeah, it's just Rapunzel. Great. I just didn't know if it was like something more oddball than that. Did like a fun thing from the set. But in terms of footage, it was just like sort of Catherine Hahn's hand sort of creepily around a doorway. And
Yeah.
then, she came out to talk about how she was playing Mother Gothel. So that was the Catherine Hahn of it all was very exciting. And I think Tangled live action could be fun and interesting. How are they going to do that hair? I'm interested to find out.
What a wig watch that's going to be.
I
My
mean,
God.
it looked incredible in the the video that they showed of the two of them. Her wig looked incredible, but it's prehensile. That's going to be a lot of CG work on that hair.
How much actual physical hair is on the wig versus what's added via CGI? Like, do you have to?
a ton because we saw it.
Yeah.
I don't think CGA added her hair
For
to
the
that
little
like
clip they did?
travelogue thing that
No?
they did. No.
So do you think you have to train like an F1 driver in terms of building up neck strength if you're carrying
Probably.
that much hair?
Yeah.
Let's get Landon Norris to comment on Tangled.
But I think a lot of it is like draped around her like a boa sort of thing. You know what I mean? So I think it's sort of
Interesting.
like
Interesting.
draped. And that way you can distribute the weight across. It's not just all on the
Right.
neck.
Okay. No. Tune in for more Wig Watch TM commentary with Joanna Robinson TM.
Anything
for
else
Tangled or
you want
otherwise.
to shout out?
I thought that Oswald, we really roasted Sean when he took that in the final round.
I'm
of,
still happy
of
to roast him.
the
for
hype
it.
draft, and it was a strange pick, I think, based on where we were in the hype
Well,
draft.
it was the wrong year. He really wildwooded it, you know?
It's a proud tradition in the hype. Yeah, exactly. The little glimpse that we saw of
Charming.
Oswald, let me tell you something precious.
Very charming.
This is absolutely precious. Have you given away your commemorative trading card yet to another person as you vowed to, or have you kept it?
I have not found
Have
a
you
stranger
fucking
on the
kept
street who wants them. But
You've
if you want
broken
my
your vow,
if
you
you
should
want
give it to
my-
Sean.
Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. Easy.
Great.
When
I
he
don't
comes-
intend to give him mine.
I will use it as a lure to make sure he shows up for the Oppenheimer pod.
Oh, look at you. Excellent strategy.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right.
We did it.
D23 news. There
we were
you go.
there
Next year, we'll be potting about that news.
remotely. Thank you for Disney for having us. Thank you to Disney for having us.
Yeah,
We really appreciate
That's a great experience.
that experience.
Now we know. Should we talk about lanterns?
Yes.
Opening snapshot.
Oh, wait. And really quickly, shout out to Caitlin, who was working the event, who we met.
Yeah, shout out Caitlin.
A lovely listener.
Bad baby.
Caitlin, yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Lanterns. Okay, episode 1, Pilot. Directed by James Hawes, written by Chris Mundy, showrunner and co-creator, Damon Lindelof of Yada Them Lads, friend of the pod, co-creator, and Tom King, co-creator. So the 3 co-creators of the show wrote this premiere. Wonderful stuff. This is a 57-minute episode, so nearly a full hour, meaty. Mm-hmm. Before we get into the episode itself, some table setting here. What is your relationship to just Green Lantern as a fictional universe, as a character set, anything?
Not very profound. I've read some comics and I know the lore, the basics of the lore. I've definitely seen the terrible movie.
That movie is quite poor.
Quite bad.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, Guy Gardner, is played by Nathan Fillion, I'm aware of, but, that's about it.
Yeah, talk about a wig watch. My goodness.
Correct.
Similar spot for me, not the comic book character set, superhero set that I have the deepest history with or connection to, but that's actually part of what's exciting about the show. I think it's not only an excuse. Certainly watching this episode, I became really excited to dive further into the comics and familiarize myself a little more deeply.
With the inspiration.
Yeah, but it's also like right away it feels like this show can be a seminal experience for us with lanterns, which is exciting.
There's a lot of exposition in this episode, but it's done fairly deftly, I thought.
Yes, for sure. Guy Gardner's hair also quite important to me in the Superman film, and Guy Gardner's comic excellence in the Superman film, just something that I never like to miss an opportunity to talk about. That I thought that was great.
Okay.
I think that the 2011 Green Lantern film is one of the worst superhero movies ever made. That's an opinion shared by many, not a controversial take.
Did you rewatch it?
I did.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Lamentably, I did.
You know what? I knew you would.
I did. Gotta say.
You're very thorough. You take your job very seriously. And I was like, Mallory's going to put herself through that for some reason.
It was kind of shocking to revisit it, actually. This was really an experience.
What was it like to bask in the origin of the love story of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds? Yep, it was there. Okay.
What a movie to fall in love while making.
Just 2 people who were in existing relationships. All right.
Mark Strong's Sinestro, remember that?
I do.
I do. Really something.
Oh, Mark.
Parallax, shout out Parallax. Okay. Initial reception for Lanterns.
Yeah.
It's positive. Very strong response so far from critics and fans alike. We are recording this first thing Monday morning, so the viewership numbers from HBO are not out yet. We don't know how many people watched. Hopefully we'll find out
I wouldn't be
soon.
surprised if this is a little bit of a slow build.
Yeah, that would be my expectation as well. Maybe start small and then we build if the hype continues to be strong and the buzz is good.
Similar to Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which had a fairly healthy debut, but I think the strong word of mouth really grew the viewership for that show.
We got to get Poop Robin out there chirping about lanterns, 90 and 91 on the deeply flawed Rotten Tomatoes. More importantly, everybody at The Ringer seems hyped, so that's really fun. It's like the Ringer-verse, the Ringer crew is excited about lanterns. That's thrilling. Joanna Robinson, I actually don't know what you thought of lanterns.
I know.
You've been holding back your opinion.
Haven't talked
you know
about
what
it.
I thought about it, but
yeah.
You have been keeping it.
I have been deeply skeptical of this show. You have been championing the show.
Yeah.
And I have been a little rain cloud this entire time.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Oh, yay. Great.
I've seen episode 1.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoyed it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I would say B plus A minus is where I would put it, but in a way where I'm not it's all downhill from here. I'm excited to see where it goes. What you told me when you saw episode 1, which you did before me, was, Kyle Chandler. That was basically the review. And then later other things, but mostly Kyle Chandler. And I was like, sure. But how much can one man do in 57 minutes? And it turns out
plenty.
Everything.
Yeah.
And I had a great time at the Comic-Con panel. I thought it was all the footage they showed. And most of that footage was in this episode. So I had frankly seen a lot of this episode already because I was at that panel. But Kyle Chandler's charm and charisma
it's astonishing.
Is astounding. That's the superpower of the show. And then Aaron Pierre, who's someone I was just not very familiar with, and I wasn't worried about him as a performer because I had no context. So it wasn't like I was like, oh, this guy isn't very good because I had no opinion on that way or one way or another, but I was quite worried about the character archetype that I thought they were setting up because you and I've seen so many shows recently and on our patch that have really leaned into this sort of like stoic character. We talked about it a lot with Ahsoka. We talked about it a lot with The Mandalorian when you had like Bo-Katan and Mando sort of like having a stoic off, you know what I mean? And we saw it with The Last of Us, and sometimes it's great, but a lot of times it's not. And I just want this to go out in a textbook for all TV creators as like the best way to give us a stoic character, because I would still call this character a stoic character, but there is like enough charm and warmth and like humanity inside of Aaron Pierre's performance here that it doesn't feel like, stiff, like a total stiff up against this like bouncing charismatic figure. You know what I mean? He's in his own right. I am deeply invested in him. So if we wind up spending more time in the 2026 timeline,
right,
where as far as we know, Kyle Chandler is a corpse.
That's right.
I'm not like opposed. I'm still interested.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so that was something I was quite worried about, but I thought they really he was really great in this episode.
Yeah, they're both fantastic individually, and they are just, I think, electric together. The dynamic between John and Hal, which the entire premiere and it seems
the premise of the show
series hinges on, really working for me. I thought this premiere was really great. I'm very excited to talk about it and to cover the show. I love Kyle Chandler. Listeners of this podcast know that he is a formative central presence in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know Kyle Chandler.
You love Early Edition. But can we say that you got to meet Kyle Chandler?
I did.
Which you did.
Yeah, I had the genuine pleasure of moderating the preseason panel press conference for Lanterns a couple days ago. And, you get to meet everyone before. And it was obviously like helpful to know Damon, takes a little bit of the nervous edge off. Kyle Chandler was there first, so I got to meet him first. And as our lovely, the moderator team was, the panel team was bringing me over, he just like points, sees me coming and goes, moderator? Moderator? It was great. And I texted you after. Got to shake Kyle Chandler's hand. Pretty proud of myself that I didn't faint, and I didn't. So that was great.
I am proud of you.
Panel was wonderful. Delightful to meet Tom King. That was really fun. It was great. So I love this premiere. I think that Kyle Chandler is genuinely wonderful as Hal Jordan. Like, it's are you born? He's Coach Taylor. He's always been Coach Taylor to me, but it's like, were you born to play Hal Jordan at this stage in Hal Jordan's life? He's
Coach Tayloring, but with like a couple added flavors into the Kool-Aid, and it's pretty fantastic.
Yes.
And I mean, like, I will say this to be clear. Like, am I, if we spend time in 2026 in other episodes in the season, am I interested? Yes. Am I interested in like an entire, like a season 2 where he's not in it? I would be a little worried about that. But they set up in this, given that we are in 96, 2000s. We have a context for 2006.
Yes.
We're in 2016, 2026.
Yes, and then the flash
and
forward.
Also, in the 96 broadcast, which is where we start, there's the 10 years ago.
That's
so
right.
1986.
Yes.
So there's 86, 96, 2006, 2016, 2026. So a lot of opportunity for flashback Hal and the hologram.
The hologram was incredible.
Hologram is just like a perfect opportunity for like, if Hal is really dead, and we can talk about all the theories that are cooking around that at the end, but like if he is dead and he stays dead, they have set it up that they can still have Kyle Chandler with less gray in his hair for the rest of the run.
Perish the thought. The pepper in the hair, the salt in the hair.
But
part of the charm.
I agree. I think it looks great, but I was like, why did Kyle let them like make him so gray? And it was so that like he could show up with less gray in his hair and you could see that it was 10 years previous.
Wonderful stuff. The wisecracking, the smart ass, but also in the primary timeline of 2016, the kind of jaded, increasingly cynical. I loved those quick glimpses of Hal across time that we got to see very quickly inside of this one episode, how something clearly had changed for him, the evolution in his demeanor and disposition. This was my first experience with Aaron Pierre, and I thought he was wonderful. Yeah. Like, really, really captivating and great as Jon Stewart. Obviously a character who means so much to so many people, one of the first Black superheroes in DC Comics. Listening to Aaron Pierre talk about what that means to him has been, like, really moving and beautiful. He is just, like, so thoughtful about the role and the character. That's been great. The "are you afraid" question, this was like very centrally present in the trailers and the marketing for the season. Obviously, this is Lantern's canon. This is a core part of the Green Lantern story in question. But so of course it's here. It's like the perfect thing to mine inside of a prestige TV HBO version of a Lantern's adaptation.
I have such a spicy take on this. Well, I don't know. I actually don't know if it's no. I'm not anti. I just have a potentially
I'm excited to get to it.
Peppery take.
Okay. Well, this is a Salt and Pepper podcast because of the Hal Jordan hair. So great. Fantastic. I think also this question with that Hal, John trainee dynamic of which path to the ring is like more valid, which path is worthier of being chosen or having to work for it, having to earn it. That challenge that John issues to Hal in this episode, like, shit, maybe you should have, is so good and so interesting.
It's interesting because you identified that to me early when you had seen the episode as like sort of a central premise of the show, which I thought was really compelling. What was so interesting inside of this episode, and we can talk about it a little bit more. I don't know if it's my Gen X cusp, like, distrust of authority.
Sure.
But I'm like, maybe I do trust a magical ring
more
over
than the
like
Guardians.
An organization where I don't quite know their intentions in terms of why they're putting John there and stuff like that, And it's like, on the one hand,
absolutely.
Like when you presented those options to me, outside of the context of me seeing the episode, I was like, well, obviously the path where the person did the interview and did the work, and then that surely is the message of the show, that it's just sort of like Kyle Chandler, the charismatic white guy, gets it handed to him, and then this like young Black man who has worked so hard his entire life and done everything right and had to like work 10 times harder than Hal Jordan ever had to. Surely the message is like, that's the more merit-based path to Green Lantern hood.
Right.
But I was just like, I don't trust these. They're not people. I don't trust these folks. I'm just sort of like, but at the same time, is this magical artifact, I don't know if that's what we want to call it, this magical piece of jewelry, like how trustworthy is that? Is it as trustworthy as a sword in the stone?
Mm-hmm.
It picked Guy Gardner. That guy kind of sucks. So I don't know. Like,
I think a
Silver Wing picked Ulf. I don't know. These things are mysterious sometimes.
Yes, and I think that the initial presentation of this clash inside of the Hal-John relationship is a scintillating start.
Yeah.
My expectation would be that there is a complexity to what we will explore from there that will be very interesting to track. And then, I think the last kind of big picture item is just Rushville, Nebraska, the setting, because Lanterns is inherently, the Green Lantern comic book universe is inherently cosmic, galactic, vast, sprawling. It's the Green Lantern core, right? There are lanterns in all of the sectors across the galaxy. So
all different colors.
The idea of rooting us in this very specific, dusty, small town at a high school football game.
Nebraska forever.
Nebraska forever. People have been talking about and describing this in part because of Chris Mundy's, involvement as showrunner, right? Ozark, True Detective, et cetera, as like Lanterns does True Detectives. There's a very grounded, earthbound element to this sprawling galactic story. And I think in the premiere, at least, that balance felt to me pretty compelling. Like putting the mystery, giving us the mystery, and having these moments where we already get a sense that Hal's origin with the ring connects to this place. John is really pressing him like, fuck, Hale, it even sounds like aliens. You know, what happened here? The ship crashing
Do
here.
you agree that Hale sounds like aliens?
I was like, wait, Hale, Hale. Okay, I got it. Took me a minute.
Aliens? I guess so.
Well, from the show that brought us Hologram, you know, aliens.
Hologram.
The initial glimpses of in the 60 Minutes newsreel footage, the suit, and then, you know, in this episode, a little initial flash, like the first time that, you know, John reaches to use the ring, we get the green as the car is crashing. Hal, the construct of the counterfeit money to fire up the jukebox. I thought instantly iconic bottle cap opener and wink to Sheriff Carey. It worked on me.
Of course it did.
Sheriff Carey made a stronger stuff. It worked on me,
girl.
folks. And just the first time we see Hal like pop off into flight, the incorporation of those comic book superhero elements felt flawlessly entwined in this Nebraska setting to me. And I think that could have gone wrong. Mm-hmm. So far, it doesn't feel like it has.
Yeah. Do you think this season ends with John putting the suit on? Do you think that like has to happen the finale of this season?
Well, I think like what you've already kind of pinged about, because this premiere ends with the 2026 the twist of discovering Hal's body and giving us, you know, the clarity that we have, at least in that one closing scene, moved into the now what is the present timeline of the rest of the DCU. The possibility that we spend more time there, of course, you know, not to jump ahead to the end of the pod, but John picks up like Hal's hand,
ring.
Dusts off the snow, no ring on Hal's hand and no ring on John's. So
Correct.
Somebody has taken that ring. Where is it? Who has it? Does that mean that John didn't get it in
does that mean
10 years in between? I think we'll have the suit at some point. But
no, I'm
interesting.
Just curious because I mean that's sort of the like MCU model we had been seeing, you know what I mean? Like Wanda suits up and then like Wiccan suits up, you know, like that sort of like finale moment. So is that something that this show will want to do? Of course, logistically, I have a ton of questions. I mean, inside of this episode, they're like, there can only be one Earthbound Green Lantern at a time. And we know Guy Gardner exists. So that complicates a lot of things for us in the 2026, you know, have the rules changed by the time we get to 2026 or like, you know, or what's going on? Did the ring choose Guy Gardner instead? Is that what happened? My God, you know, so a lot of questions, but I could just see that being like a big finale moment. I'm just asking questions.
That would be, that's entirely plausible.
Yeah.
Entirely plausible. Should we get to the episode breakdown?
Let's do it.
Okay. We start in 1996. We start in the past with young John, his brothers, his dad, and 60 Minutes. And crucially, a red apple.
And a red apple. Journalism and a red apple.
Oh, man.
How do you feel, Team Red, being associated with, frankly, irresponsible parenting? I'm just going to say it's a brave take. Brave take.
Bold take.
Brave take for me.
Shooting apples off your kid's head is not something that you endorse.
Is that not how your parents marked your height as you were growing up? Was it mere masking tape on the door
my
jam?
Parents never did the like now you're this tall thing on a door frame or anywhere. They didn't care how tall I was.
I always thought that was fun when we went to like other
they were just
houses.
like, now you need another pair of sneakers again? You grew again? All right, so we're in the past. Young John and his brothers are watching this 60 Minutes clip where Hal is revealing his identity. As you've noted, we hear in this clip, okay, well, before, you know, he's been around 10 years. So he's been Green Lantern.
Since 86.
But he's about to say his name.
Yeah.
And there's this notable distinction right away where John's two brothers are very anxious that dad is going to come home.
Would you say they're afraid and he's not afraid?
I would say that seems like a notably, intentionally conveyed contrast.
You know what else is a great cover for digitally de-aging someone? 90s tube TV.
Yeah. It still was a little like, that's a de-aged face.
For sure.
But
the grainy,
yes.
You know, tube TV really covered some.
No question. And Hal is in the suit. And he looked hot.
He used to wear it a lot more.
That's right. I loved that conversation at the taco stand about the suit. Notably, he's also more earnest. He's more measured. He's less jaded. He's less of a smartass. Now, this is a television interview, but he's very much like, this is my responsibility and I'm here to tell you about it. It's a different tone and thus a nice setup for how things have changed for Hal as we move across time. We get some of the bio deets in this 60 Minutes clip that are familiar from the canon. His father was killed in a crash, test flight pilot. Hal was 8. Hal becomes a test flight pilot as well, becomes an Air Force pilot, and then the Ring chose him. How are you chosen? Is there a test? It's only one question. Are you afraid? And you said no. I did.
Big question.
Yeah.
Do you believe him?
That he said, I am not afraid, or that he was not actually afraid? I believe that he said it because I believe that Hal Jordan is defined by his bravado and also as a character who doesn't always tell himself the truth about how he feels. The Ring's ability to parse the truth beneath the lie is interesting, but of course, this is also one of the interesting things about Green Lantern canon, the idea of fear and will as these opposing forces and the Lanterns channeling will, manifesting will. You know, the way that, and we get, Are you afraid? No, sir. We get young John ask this question too when his father comes home and takes him out to shoot apples off his head, and we see all the holes in the garage behind him. So it's very clear right away, like, this is the routine.
He's been
this
training
is the normal
him
thing.
to become a lantern, which is like very interesting and odd. I just my TV watching hackles go up when, yes, I know that this is like comic book canon, but if we just hear it from one character and a character who later has proven himself, you know, we hear other versions of more information about the story from Hal in the bar.
Yeah,
And again, just like
pretty intense.
But like, I don't fully believe. I think there's something untrue about this.
You think
origin
he said,
story.
I'm fucking terrified, and the green bubble yanked him anyway?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, I'm just not taking this at face value.
For sure. I think that whether the reaction in real time to waking up hungover in the green bubble and getting asked that question and answering whatever he answered in real time is different from the fable or truth that he recounts, however apocryphal that bit of myth making might be. I think as this episode, you know, really, I think does a nice job right away of you through something like Sheriff Carey's moment with John as they're watching Hal interrogate Waylon. Great scene. Yeah, he's not fucking fearless. He's lonely. The truth. And
so this is my pepper take.
Tell me.
Which is like, so the Green Lantern, and I genuinely don't know. And you've spent more time thinking about this and actually interacting with people who've worked on this show, so you have a better grasp of this than I do. But I'm curious if this sort of emotional absolutism of like, you have to be wholly unafraid, will versus fear, is that the message of this story, that is the way to be? Because
I would be shocked. I think it'll be the opposite. Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying is like, it's just really ringing Jedi bells for me, right? Where it's just sort of like the Jedi Council is like, here's the inhuman absolutist way for you to be a Jedi, and it is an unreasonable expectation for someone. And like, do I believe that like fear, you know, something that is really interesting is in the opening, like it's not credits, it's like the logo of the show. We start with the yellow light, which is the fear light inside of I know you know, I'm just saying in case someone listening doesn't know, but like, is the fear light inside of. So like, obviously the yellow light, the fear light is present inside of the story. We know Sinestro is like in this show, like all of that is obviously part of it. But I just don't know, you know, and to your point, what Kelly MacDonald's character says about fear. But I just, and you know, Damon Lindelof is working on the show.
Exactly.
I don't know how much of his interest, when he talked to us about his Star Wars project and the fact that his interest in interrogating the Jedi Council and their ideas of emotional absolutism was something that was already on his mind.
Yeah.
So, like, how much is that being ported over into this world where, in the canon of lanterns, these various lights represent these good and bad emotions, and it is quite a binary kind of world. I just think and John has been trained his whole life to say he's not afraid.
Right.
And Hal, obviously, I think what Kelly MacDonald's character says about, I just think Sheriff Carey is like a really kind of dumb name. I don't know why.
Sheriff Carey, yeah.
It's like hard for me to say. Keep saying Kelly MacDonald's character. But anyway, what she's saying about fear means you have attachments.
Yeah.
Very Jedi.
Sure. Yeah.
And isn't that the better way, the better, more rounded person to be?
I don't think this is a peppery take. I would be shocked if the series was not interested in exploring the nuance of what drives people to say, I'm not afraid, or to try to talk themselves into that being a way that they need to live their lives, and whether that is appropriate or even possible or good. I feel like that's part of the appeal of making a television show version of this, where you get to really like live in those character arcs. I think even I just think complete shit show of the 2011 movie, which is bad, as we already said, but also I would say not nimble in terms of like, what's it really like to be a person?
Right.
And also not nimble in terms of not showing us repeating footage from the first 5 minutes of the movie 5 minutes after, which is just one of the weirder things. But like even in that movie, Hal has his big I'm terrified moment. Like I think that's part of the world too. But I think the core framing, to your point, undeniably is more. I like the Jedi comp a lot in terms of like the structure of the world.
Yeah,
I think that it is the need to answer the test. Are you afraid? By saying no. It's much more like Dune-coded fear is the mind killer than Thrones. How can a man be brave if he is afraid? That is the only time a man can be brave, which is obviously, I think, the world we love both those stories, but that's maybe the thing that feels more like emotionally true. What you already said though, like I don't know. To me, like a show that Damon Lindelof is involved with in any way is gonna be interested in exploring the insecurities and terror of our humanity born out of our trauma and our loss and our pain and our fear. Fear will be the driver. So
I agree with you. I just think, I guess
that would be my hope.
guess I've just been seeing a lot of takes from people who love the comics of this like fear versus will binary.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's been like consistently yellow versus green light sort of like binary idea. And I just am excited for the possibility of this show to give us something much muddier in the color palette. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
That is my hope as well.
Yeah.
You noted just in general earlier the idea of like flashbacks and how flashbacks plus the hologram, et cetera, could keep Hal on the show. Obviously, the fact that the show opens with young John promises John flashbacks as well. So it feels like we'll be moving throughout time with all the characters, which is exciting.
And that, of course, to the True Detective point, that True Detective comp had been thrown around since the very beginning, as you mentioned, in terms of what they were hoping to deliver with this show. And I was curious what elements, other than like, two investigators who have differing personalities and are, exploring a murder in a sort of small town setting or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think the time jumps or the parallel timelines, and again, I don't know how often we'll be in 2026, but this idea of like parallel murder cases inside of, like Hal's death in 2026 and whatever's going around happening in 2016.
Yeah.
That's the Rest Cole time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, let's reopen that case in order to understand what's happening with this case. That is what's going on. And then of course the like Macon family, we've got our fingers in all of the levels of authority in this town, sort of vast conspiracy. That of course is also like classic True Detective stuff. But I was just like quite pleased that like the True Detective element was the roots were sunk a bit deeper than I was worried they would be.
I was trying because the premiere, we got unsurprisingly this season on. They've released 3 or 4 trailers for the show already, but the this season on after the premiere always has new stuff in it. And because this episode ends with in 2026, John has the goatee.
You were like marking how much
I will say he had a goatee in more shots maybe than had been in
other trailers.
Okay. So I was like, oh, does that indicate that we're going to spend more time in 2026? But I don't know. I
know the Guy Gardner footage. He's talking to goateed John.
Yeah.
So the whatever Nathan Fillion's role in this seems to be in the 2026 timeline.
Now maybe John will grow a goatee earlier. Sure. Possible. But maybe they've
done markers to help us.
Done a time marker. Yeah.
And we appreciate it.
So 2016. Hal and John go for a drive, and Hal picks up John in front of one of our offices. This was just fucking wild.
So weird.
Hal speeding up to pick up John. He's late. He's about to joke and button push about being late. And I was just like, pause. Is that Girl and the Goat?
That is Girl and the Goat.
LA That's Mateo complex? Is that
Mateo.
The Spotify downtown office? What?
Do you know
we have been in this scene?
Do you know how often I've seen people filming around there?
I know.
And I've never seen it show up in something I was watching.
I was playing back in my mind some of the days where I was like just desperately trying to get there in time for a recording a meeting. And I'm like, I gotta go. Oh no, one
filming
detour.
Once again.
What if Kyle Chandler
it was
just
Kyle.
been right there?
Well, don't worry.
Damn it.
Don't worry. You can tell past you that future you was going to meet him anyway, one way or another.
True. We get this just instant feel for the Hal-John vibe and dynamic. Hal thinks John is square. He likes to goad him. He likes to push his buttons. He likes to press. John is a rule follower who thinks Hal is a joke. We will hear him say elsewhere in the episode that he does respect him, but he's also like, I don't really have time or patience for your bullshit. How are you the one with the ring? And we get to feel that right away. Is John annoyed that Hal's late? No, sir. Is he annoyed that Hal went off planet and ghosted him for 2 weeks? No, sir. Carlos, what do they say next?
No, sir.
How come it is every time you say sir, it sounds more and more like fuck you?
I have no idea, sir.
Just delightful. This is great.
He's really good at this.
Really, really good. The charm and the humor, but the tension and the conflict established right away. Joanna, we see in this scene during this car ride that John's training, or lack thereof, is something of a sore spot. It's been a couple months, but he hasn't yet learned to fly, as we will soon see with the hologram. Has not been off planet, hasn't even worn the ring yet.
Yeah, 2006 Hal is quite shocked and appalled by the state of training
He
here.
really is.
Yeah.
He really is.
He's like, I haven't done that yet?
He's like, you're my trainee. You should know this. That was great. Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior. You'll wear it when it chooses you. I thought the point was that the Guardians chose me. That's all. The big blue bosses may think that you're hot shit, but you're just a substitute teacher, Junior. You're not ready to get up in front of the class until the ring says you are.
How jealous are you of John that he has a nickname
Junior.
From Kyle Chandler? From Coach Taylor, a.k.a. Hal Jordan.
Not as jealous as I am of Sheriff Carey.
Who got a beer open for her?
Yeah, just when she walks away after talking shit in the bleachers and he's like, she's something incredible, isn't she? I mean, that was real goal stuff, but, pretty much jealous of everybody who gets to share a moment with Hal Jordan here.
He loves Gosford Park, just like me.
So, Guardians of the Universe, Oa-based founders of the Lantern Corps, you're on watch. You're on watch, as you've already established.
I don't trust authority. John is like, I trust authority, and I say, John, I don't.
Respects the chain of command. We hear him say that elsewhere.
I don't.
So Hal is slow playing John's training. Hal, a lazy, sloppy teacher, maybe. Threatened, maybe.
Definitely. I mean, definitely.
Yes, probably to both of those, but certainly more the latter. He's like, you're not going to take this ring from me? And maybe something else is going on. So it's test time, right? You want to learn? You want to be trained? Okay, I'm going to pop this ring. Here on the dashboard, there's a great taco stand 3 miles down the road. Meet me there. And then he just opens the car door, rolls out, and the car shoots over the cliff and crashes. And then we cut to John completely fine and unharmed. We will learn later that the
opening logo, and then John completely fine.
He made bubble wrap to save himself.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
It's interesting to. I think it'll be really fun to track what these guys are making with the ring, right?
Yeah, definitely.
For Hal, it's counterfeit money.
Yeah.
Bottle opener.
Wow.
And a shield to protect them all from an explosion.
Yes.
You know?
That's right. Yeah, the bubble. The Waylon bubble.
For our guy, John, it's the bubble wrap.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lighting of the cigarette.
That was hot.
You know? I think the lighting of the cigarette and the cigarette lighter and the bottle opener pretty much like same, right?
I mean, yeah.
Bubble wrap and shield, kind of same, but a more like inventive, like because he could have just made a bubble,
right?
But he made bubble wrap,
yes,
which is just sort of like, is John a more creative thinker or like or is that more pragmatic? I actually am interested to track. Counterfeit money though doesn't seem great to me. Doesn't seem great use.
Manifested it with his will.
Doesn't seem great.
Manifested it with his will. Yeah, on the creativity front, during the Waylon interrogation scene, he's drawing, he's sketching. So we get to see John with his sketchbook, that creative mind. We get to see when he, obviously we get the great, when we meet Billy and Sheriff Carey's son, Noah. Aviator Nation sweatshirt. What a time for us, two enthusiasts.
He's in weapons.
And he was in, what was that? What else? Spider Noir, right? That kid was, he's just out there thriving,
working,
loaded IMDb already.
Yeah.
Obviously we get the great Coach Taylor, moment. There's so much Coach Taylor. There's so much Friday Night Lights. There's so much football in this episode, but we get to like offense, defense, wherever they need me, sir. Good man. But then it's John who goes over to the tire and it's like, just don't imagine things. So John's imagination, creative mind is very present, which makes sense in terms of how the ring functions.
Canonically, John is an architect. So
Yes.
to make him an artist, I think is like a fun sort of sideways way into that. But like, the way in which his creative mind is connected to what he manifests with the ring. Fun to track.
And I like to also certainly to how he'll use the ring, thinking about that, but also just the way that we were thinking already inside this episode about like how perspective is manifesting for John in multiple forms. Because when we glimpse the sketchbook, that's in the same scene where he's in the same moment where he's saying like, we're all aliens. It's just a matter of like which planet we're on. So John is a character who's thinking about perspective.
And also in that scene, because of the way the two-way mirror is set up, like his reflection is laid over Hal's reflection inside of that.
Those were cool shots.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool. John calls his dad.
Sheriff Carey was overlaid with the alien.
That's right. Are you on Theory Corner?
I mean, it's Secret Scroll Watch once again, is it not? Are we not back on Secret? Are we not back with the faceless men and the Secret Scrolls?
Are you putting your flag down right now? You think that
Sheriff
Carey's an alien?
I don't know. Because she's in the 2026 timeline, maybe not. But maybe even more so.
Interesting.
I have some questions about the ages of the Macon family.
Same. Because they're basically all the same age.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like House of the Dragon, where
Can I give you these ages?
Yeah, please. Absolutely.
Okay. Garrett Dillahunt, Big Daddy Macon, looks great, is 61. Zoe Macon, born in Jackanathan, 53.
Looks unbelievable.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Kelly McDonald, 50. So supposedly
Also
the next
looks
generation
amazing.
down, 50 years old. And then babyface Jason Ritter, 46.
Yeah, I mean, he looks 23. That's insane. He's 46.
He's 46. Yeah. So
Wow.
like, granddad and grandmom
Mm-hmm.
are 61 and 53. Mom and dad are 50 and 46. And then Noah is like a very small
actual child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an actual child.
Yeah.
I just have some questions. Is that funky alien, Secret Scroll Watch stuff? Or is that just sort of like we cast these actors because we really like them and Kelly McDonald can pass for younger, which she can. And,
Sure.
Certainly Jason Ritter can. Or it's just Jason Ritter passing for younger and he married a slightly older woman or something like that.
Because technically the only age that actually really needs to make sense is William and Billy.
Right. Because is Zoe supposed to be his stepmom?
Right.
Is that, racially, I would say yes, but it's not really overtly established in the episode.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone could be an alien.
I'm just asking questions.
Young Noah, we hear that kid is an all-state quarterback.
That sounds like alien behavior to you?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
We saw from, Waylon was really like, I'm on Football Reference. You know? I learned what I needed to know about Nebraska.
Don't you think we should be asking questions of
course.
every single person we see in this town?
Absolutely.
There's Hal in Rushfield.
There's Hal. There is Hal. And Hal
sounds just like aliens.
So, John, before he gets the Hal and Rushville hologram update, he calls his dad. So we had seen the flashback with his dad shooting the apples off his head. Here he is, still in essence in training with his dad, even though he is, of course, actually formally training with Hal Jordan at this point. Calls him to talk through. This guy tried to just like fucking kill me, right? And his dad says, he's just trying to put you on tilt. He's testing you. They're allowed to have tantrums. We're not.
Most important line of the episode, I would say.
Tell me why.
For obvious racial reasons, I would say,
Yes.
is like this core, and that's comics canon in terms of like Jon Stewart's path versus Hal Jordan's path and stuff like that. But, just thinking about the fact that my guy, Stephen Williams, who I love, is directing at least one, if not a couple episodes this season. Stephen Williams, a Lost director.
That's exciting.
But also directed the absolutely iconic Watchmen episode, This Extraordinary Being. Has done, when I did the Lost podcast, I talked to him a lot about Michael's storyline in Lost and sort of his thoughts on that and like inside of This Extraordinary Being, what that incredible Watchmen episode had to say about sort of like race and the path to being a hero inside of that world. And so I think undoubtedly having these characters, these creatives behind it, this is clearly something that they're interested in exploring. And I think the way that they're allowed to have tantrums, we're not. And the way that you watch John sort of stifle any sort of, he's been trained to not fear, but also don't get angry, don't get upset, be deferential at all times.
Yes.
And like, when's the lid going to come off of that pot?
Sure.
And I think it should,
Yeah, absolutely. The ring pulses. Out pops the hologram. Less gray in the hair, different jacket. Still a good jacket, but a different one. It's a leather jacket this time. And different energy. He apologizes, and we're already only a few minutes into the episode struck by that, and of course, John is struck by it as well. He says that he must have a concussion. It's the only plausible explanation for.
But also,
Hal apologizing.
Hal's like, "Am I dead?"
That's right. What's going on here? So this idea that Hal has grown a little bit colder, a little bit less kind over time. These questions of what has changed for him. Because right now, as of the last couple months, as we hear from the training timeline that John provides, he's got a trainee that's probably
put his hackles up,
led to some of this, but
he hasn't backed himself up.
He hasn't backed himself up in 10 years. So something started sooner. And then even that, he's not in the lantern suit. In the
not
hologram.
Wearing the suit, has a weird reaction to hearing the recitation of the oath. You know what I mean? Just sort of like, what is his relationship to his role, to the greater authority, to all of that. Like, and the hologram makes me so happy because a ton of our listeners may not be connected to this reference, but the people who make this show definitely are, which is the show Quantum Leap. And the show Quantum Leap, which features a guy and his best sidekick is a hologram named Al, and who was a real guy, but was a hologram named Al. And so the way in which they can have this quantum leap dynamic as much as they want going forward,
right,
and just use Kyle Chandler as much as they want to going forward is such a smart thing that they did, as such a smart twist of the canon, because this isn't in the comics, and so like not in this form. And so I just think from a TV storytelling perspective, because he can pop up wherever, and like. We don't know yet. Can everyone see him? Or is it only
if you're wearing the ring?
Only if you're wearing the ring. But like, he seems corporeal, right? I don't think John walked through him. But I'm just saying, can only John see him?
Right.
And so like, it's like that, it's a ghost construct. which can always be really
Delightful.
fun inside of TV storytelling. So, yeah.
Fantastic stuff. I thought this was great as well, not only because of what it potentially unlocks for keeping Hal around in some capacity in the future, but, again, on like the evolution front.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, and how many times along the road, Because like based on what we'll hear him say at the taco stand in the next scene about why he stopped wearing the suit, it's like our hologram is more engaged and still more like earnest and chipper and maybe sincere than 2016 primary timeline Hal, but already he had ditched the suit. And he's like, I don't need to wear the tie and try to impress people already. Like, so something has already changed for him a little bit. It feels like there's like a progression before whatever maybe more seismic happens in this last decade here.
I mean, he's not wearing the suit in that exact moment, but we don't know how often he's not wearing the suit.
No, but like he could have easily been in the suit in the hologram and he wasn't. So it feels like an intentional choice given that the next thing we hear him say is about why he stopped wearing the suit.
Entirely
so I
possible.
don't know.
Entirely possible.
Taco stand. He's signing autographs. He's taking selfies. He's winking at the cashier. Everybody is thrilled to see him, which like I love because that's not going to remain true. We're about to head to Nebraska where Sheriff Carey is like, what's the plural for eat shit, and just thinks this guy is like such a pain in the ass. The fact that all of these people here are worshiping him, and we get to see that he is simultaneously like happy to pose, happy to take the pictures, happy to flirt with the mom, but he's not necessarily like trying to impress them, right? Felt like an interesting thing to establish.
But it's just so like, we'll hear him say, I word searched it in the transcript. I think it's just 4 different times, but it's 2006 hologram and 2016 my ring.
Mm-hmm.
Very Gollum-y. Not the ring, my ring.
Sure.
And so, I mean, simply, yes, it is his ring, but the way he's saying it, like, what does he need from that ring? And what does he need from that attention he gets at the taco stand? You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
He's not trying to impress them, but at the same time,
he's feeding off of it.
He is.
Yeah.
And like, I'll get used to saying it. Sheriff Carey's point about the fact that he doesn't have anyone outside of this, then these sort of like vapor fumes of connections with people is like all he has to form his identity around, except for the relationship he is building with John, right?
Yeah, and the idea of like needing the validation of the public and like having that level of adoration from strangers fuel you, but also feeling the burden of it is an interesting superhero psyche space to explore. I liked what Chris Mundy said at the little featurette at the end of the episode about this. No human has ever been a Green Lantern before Hal got that ring. The pressure of being the first person to ever do this job. You can't underestimate how important that is in the mythology of Hal. The idea of living up to what the public thinks of you as a superhero, that's tiring. So in some ways, I think Hal doesn't even want it anymore. And yet, if it was taken away from him, then Hal lost his identity. So that push-pull of like, this is who I am, and strangers asking to take a picture and asking me why I don't wear the suit anymore is the only way that I know who I am. And the threat of this other person who's seeking to rob me of that, to take it and make it his instead, would of course be something that you felt almost like on a base instinct level, the need to fend off. But it's like, what's the other side of this? The fact that you live in the public eye, exhausting. The fact that you are Earth's protector, pressure.
And then there's the whole, like, you made that decision in 96 to go on 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Like, what inspired that? What inspired him wanting to tell everyone, I'm Hal Jordan? You know what I mean?
And even the test of the ring, however true or false your answer is, that's also instantaneous. Like, there's nothing methodical or deliberate about.
Unless you're John and you trained your whole life.
But for Hal, it's like right away, and then you go and you see pink a pink alien with glow in the dark goo, and you're like, this is pretty intense. And then that's it. Your life changes fundamentally forever in a second. It's a fun distinction in their journeys for sure, and their relationship to the idea of inhabiting this world and carrying that responsibility, and then every minute of your life being defined by that decision. Like if you live your life working toward that outcome, it's a radically different thing. It's really interesting.
Mallory, if you decide to be a podcaster who's on camera, how can you get tacos in peace, you know?
Oh my God. Those tacos look great. It's like when you're eager and you'd like to prove yourself. This is what Hal says in the suit. So you wear a tie, so people will take you seriously. But when you get older and wiser, you realize ties are a pain in the ass. I love this. So we have all of these different dynamics. We have, as you talked about with the phone call between John and his father, race undeniably very present here. We have the different paths to the ring, undeniably very present here. We also have age and generations, right? And not only like the fact that they are from different generations, but the question of just like youth versus somebody who's further along in their life and their relationship to the role of being Green Lantern. When you're young and you're like the precocious, the
dress for the job you want.
Yeah, like you're in the phase of everything is ahead of you. You are eager, you're strong, you're energetic. When you're at the Hal phase, it's like, are you washed up? Are you tired? But also, are you wise? Right? Have you gained something from your experience? Are you more pragmatic? Like growing older isn't only bad. And especially if other things in Hal's life are going to make him feel like you're washed, then maybe part of what Hal will do is try to say, wait, no, this is like,
I know things.
Yeah.
I drink and I know things.
I drink and I know things. This is what I can provide.
It's also just like a very Gen X sort of attitude coming off of him here.
Millennials versus Gen X, Survivor season back in the day. I miss the themed seasons. I really do. That wasn't the best, but I do miss them.
Yeah. For you, is the brains versus brawn
versus beauty.
You loved that one.
Some great players on on those drives. As you know, I'm a David versus Goliath enthusiast.
I do know that.
So John tells Hal about the hologram. He's like, you were a lot nicer 10 years ago. And Hal just immediately, when he hears about the hologram, he hears about the message, Hal and Rushville, shoots off into the sky.
If I have one note for this episode, it is the flying effect.
You didn't like it?
I thought it was fine.
What would you like to see instead?
It's a great question. Yeah, come with solutions, not just problem. Okay, that's a good note. I'll think about it.
genuinely
I'll think
curious.
about it. I just think it's the one thing that I'm sort of like that looked a little funky. To me.
Okay.
But we're operating with a TV budget. What are you gonna do?
I was just looking at his hair blowing in the wind and his jacket, and I thought it looked great.
Sure.
Rushville. Okay, so this is where we really start to lean into the space cops go true detective energy and blend. John flies in the old-fashioned way. He has to book an airplane.
Great montage. Wonderful.
Incredible stuff. Waiting in the security line, all of it.
Did it make you really optimistic for our flights to Baltimore?
Hopefully everything will be smooth. Has to deal with the lippy officer outside of the stadium. Sidekick. That did not go over well. And then he is allowed to enter the stadium and he finds Hal sitting on the bleachers. And he's like, why did you've been here 6 hours? You came here just to sit on the bleachers?
In the exact same spot. We will find him.
Yes, indeed.
In 2026.
So how often is Hal returning there to think about this moment and what happened here? Did someone put him there?
Favorite spot?
Or his least favorite spot, but the one that makes him pensive? I love that we get our first introduction to Sheriff Carey via walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And to hear her call Hal a shithead. Great stuff. Very amusing. And then Hal's like, well, you're going to find out why I've been sitting here for 6 hours. Here she comes.
Should we address the
accent?
The corn-fed elephant in the room?
Let's do it.
Kelly MacDonald.
Yeah.
An absolute icon. Love
She's
her.
The best.
Train Spotting. Gosford Park.
Boardwalk
Empire. Yeah. Really bad accent. Or
it's confounding.
It's just very strange.
Yeah. It's confounding.
Is that a reason to put her on Alien Watch? Maybe.
Interesting.
Is it intentional? I don't know.
Huh.
I would like to think that the aliens would be able to know how to do a better accent than this one. I'm going to give it a pass. Here's what I'll say. It is one of those bad accents where it's so consistent that I can kind of just get used to it. And then it just sounds like, I don't know where she's from, but at least it sounds like she's from the same place, word to word. So I can just sort of like tell myself a story about it.
Yes.
But
to me, it sounds like she's from a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah, closer to Fargo than anything else, but still not of this earth, I would say.
I love that this is part of what's triggering your alien theory. This is incredible. I was perplexed by the accent. I think the performance is wonderful.
Yeah,
the accent,
she's the best.
Yeah, she's fantastic. The accent is notable, no question about it. On the noted front.
Yeah.
You're a big shot, noted. Really killed me. She's just ripping off zinger after zinger here. I have a very strong feeling, Hal says, about the aliens being involved. Well, then by all means, the scene is yours. Like, she's just, I loved their flirtatious hatred, like, right away. The vibes were strong. The energy was good.
Enemies to lovers. You love it.
I do. It's a cherished trope for a reason. I ship it. I don't mind saying that I ship it. And
could that be, like, in terms of, again, thinking about the Jedi, forming attachments, earthly attachments?
Yeah. Give him something he's
Sheriff
afraid
Carey
to lose.
And Junior, his trainee, his pseudo son and wifey, who happens to be married. But when's that stopped a Green Lantern in this episode?
Once that stopped a member of the Macon family.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a very, very open on that ranch, which, listen, I'm interested in learning more about the agreements that Zoe and William seem to have with each other. It's great. Hal observes the mellow nature of the scene, the fact that no one's upset, that no one's with the bodies. I thought this was actually quite important to show us, because Hal's making a lot of jokes. He's getting dunked on. We needed to actually see his competence in this episode, his observational prowess, the fact that he is clocking something in this episode. So we get it in a couple different ways. Obviously, he's right about Waylon.
Yeah, I agree. The bar fight that he incites.
Yeah.
That's a clever tactic.
Yeah, a student of human nature who knows that type of provocation will work.
And then the interrogation scene, of course, that he's right about. His gut is right. I think it's equally important that we see John fuck a married lady. Because in terms of like I'm on the straight and narrow, I'm like a Boy Scout. I think he needs to do something, messy.
Sure.
In order to sort of add dimensionality to that character.
He didn't know that she was married in this episode. Would it have stopped him?
He still fucked a lady he just met in a truck. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do, but it is a slightly messy thing to do.
You want to walk me to my car, John?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he does.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of whether or not sparks might be in the air, Carlos, can we see this, I thought, very compelling moment between Carrie and Hal?
It was nice to meet you. Now, if you'll both kindly stay the fuck out of my way.
She's something incredible, isn't she?
Think she hates your guts.
Yeah, but it's the way she hates them.
This is just wonderful.
Do you know who I'm freshly jealous of?
Tell me.
The hair zhuzher on Kyle Chandler.
Oh my God.
Whoever's job it is to like put the pomade in there and then just like rumple it up.
The jacket is iconic.
The Rumpler in chief.
Iconic.
The Rumpler in chief on the set of this show.
Is and if it is official title, you think it should be?
If it is Kyle himself, then I would like to know. Taking union jobs, but that's fine.
Oh man. So Hal's like, why don't you tell me what's going on? Right? Makes it another little lesson, little test. John reads the scene, 4 dead, all in visitor sweatshirts. Runs us through the end of the game.
But I love that. The visitors, like if they're aliens.
Visitors indeed.
Yeah.
From Kimball or somewhere further away, perhaps. Yeah. Kicking block still out. Game-winning field goal. Rush the field. It's Nebraska. They're carrying. Okay. Hal, John says, knows something, right? He's not just observing what's in front of them on the field. He's like, the hologram, you're saying it's a feeling, but it's something more. And we will get a little bit more information at the bar, but right here, Hal is still like, this is my job. As long as I'm alive, dun, dun, dun. That ain't changing. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. And then John's like,
10 years is
it's a full decade.
It's a good run.
I agree. It's nice to know that there's a decade ahead for these two. I hope we get to spend
again.
That's
that's the other option is like
just
yes, the hologram exists, but also there's just like we can explore the time between 2016 and 2026.
I quite agree. John is like, you didn't tell Sheriff Carey that you spotted this other guy who has shed his sweatshirt and he's in the short sleeves and it's freezing. Everyone's cold. John was like, no, I didn't. Well, I would have. I respect the chain of command. All right, go tell her. Well, she already knew, Joanna. And she didn't want him to get spooked and run. Then he does. We get a little chase scene.
Great runner, Aaron Pierre. Really good runner.
Fantastic stuff. Hal with the little, the shrug. You go do it. Great stuff. And they knock out Waylon, take him into custody. Hal's like, I'd like to speak to him. Sheriff Carey says, fuck off. And so we go to the bar to watch Hal get himself arrested.
Did you ever see this is an old John Mulaney bit when he had his original face. And he tells a story about playing What's New Pussycat over and over on a jukebox.
No.
It's a really good, it's like
Did he use a counterfeit 20?
No, but he and his friend, the story he tells is that he and his friend played What's New Pussycat 21 times, except they put one in that wasn't like 7 What's New Pussycats in.
Yeah.
They put in one It's Not Unusual.
Okay.
Just so that everyone in the room could be like, oh, okay,
A
it's
reprieve.
over. And then it started up again. Anyway,
That's
the way
actually diabolical.
The way he tells the bit is so funny. And I was just thinking about it a lot when we saw this.
Do you think that, well, was that before 2016? Like, is it possible that that's where Hal Jordan got the idea?
I'm sure Hal Jordan loves to
Hal Jordan,
rip
big
John
Mulaney
Mulaney
fan?
bits on YouTube.
He's invoking pop culture throughout the interrogation scene. So, it's
Also,
entirely
Brand New
possible.
Key is a banger, and I've definitely played that song more than 3 times in a row. Like, I think I've played that song 10 times in a row, and I would have a great time with it.
I love to listen to songs on loop, so I would not.
Yeah.
I would not have responded the way that this billiards playing Rushville local did, but Hal knew that he would.
Yes.
And he was right. The unconventional tactics, as you noted, fun to see here. Also, the fact that Hal is once again like the positioning his withheld tutelage as masquerading as wisdom, right? It's like, but that's the whole ball game, Junior. The when and how to use the ring. This is just great. And this is what John uses as an opportunity to ask him, okay, wait, how did you get the ring? Like, the story I know can't possibly be true.
Why do you give a shit about how I got my ring? My ring, my precious.
It's mine. Mine own. You should make that a meme. The Gollum mashup, the Gollum Hal mashup.
I'm not great at memes, I would say.
You're great at sending them to me.
Okay. That's not the same skill set. I'll leave it to the professionals.
I got it the old-fashioned way. I sure as hell didn't interview for it. Well, shit, maybe you should have. Power like that, shouldn't you have to work for it, excel, prove yourself, instead of just getting randomly selected? So this is that kind of core question that we already discussed. And then John pushes for more of the story. And Hal tells him, green bubble, are you afraid? No. Yanked him to Nebraska. He's like, I'm a pilot, right? Airspeed, bearing, distance, like I know where that bubble put me down. 20 miles from where we're sitting listening to the same song on loop.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
How cute do you think it is that this episode's called Pilot?
8.5? 9? I quite like it. Yeah. Are you putting it at a solid 10? You going 7?
Well, it's just been done before, but I do like it.
Yeah. It's good. It could have also been called My Precious, but maybe they'll save that.
So it's a pilot and it's called Pilot. And
It's
he's
great.
a pilot.
He's a pilot.
Yeah.
He's wonderful. I love it. I do. I really do. And there he was. Abin Sur, pink dying alien, gave Hal his ring and his responsibility. This next bit absolutely killed me. And then he said 2 more words, his last words, and he kind of whispered them. So I've never really been sure whether he said good luck or fuck.
Great.
Absolutely incredible. Oh my God. A human was never meant to have the ring, Hal says. Earth is a backwater. Hal has always suspected that the crash was not an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kept a lookout. He wanted an alert system, a warning.
Yeah.
And that is why the hologram appeared with the Hale and Rushville account. To me, this means that Hal should come on House of R because he's on Theory Corner.
I don't quite understand entirely how the system works, but I'm excited to lean in.
Same. How exactly is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is the hologram?
Yeah, the hologram that
Yeah.
there's Hale and Rushville.
Is it like a
Rushville.
motion sensor?
Yeah.
Something? Is it like, are we talking Simply Safe? Is it like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Little tease here as well in this origin stretch here. We have the kind of dual origin. This is the origin with the ring. We have the prior kind of family history origin with losing his father. How the Guardians see Earth and think about Earth. This idea that the ring was not supposed to come here, right? This is also a familiar Lantern's beat, Green Lantern beat, but established here. And then, the murder mystery driving the premiere entwined to Hal getting the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
Again, this
Interesting.
connects us across
all those
decades.
All of them. Hal gives John the ring. My ring. Mine own. Takes a couple shots. It's like, it's gonna look pretty bad. You're gonna be tempted to help. And John's like, I'm good. I was like, all right, tough.
No, Hal's reaction to that.
So
I mean,
good.
again, Kyle Chandler, king of the Rumple double take.
Yeah.
Just like, he's like, okay.
This is really good. So good.
Very good.
As you know, I think he has just the most expressive sad eyes. I love it. Oh my God. He does. He does.
At one point in this series run, it's possible that I will say to you, get a grip. And then we'll just say it with so much love in my heart.
It's which episode? Make a prediction now.
Mm.
How many weeks in? Next week? Maybe by the end of today's episode. We still have a couple more scenes to hit.
We'll see. We'll see.
So Hal goes to get his ass kicked, and then this lovely woman at the bar, who we will learn
Is Zoe Macon.
is Zoe Macon,
Starts
when
asking.
Noah's like, Grandma!
Yeah. Starts asking a lot of questions.
Yes, and we, if you rewatch the scene, Zoe is visible.
Oh, yeah. She's listening.
In the whole scene, listening to their
Ears are
conversations.
peeled. That's not something one says, but I'm going to say it. Her ears are peeled.
Yeah, why not?
Your eyes are peeled, but her ears, she's just like kind of carefully not looking at them.
Yeah.
But
doing
like,
this.
yeah, but like really listening.
Yeah.
And then just asking a lot of space cop questions.
Yes. Space cops have bosses.
I mean,
Backup quarterback.
and John's
flirting.
just spilling to her in more ways than one. But like,
Ba-dum-bum.
Are you proud of me?
Very. Wow, look at you. On all the Friday Night Lights ties, so you're the backup quarterback is very high on the list.
I know.
Wonderful.
You and I were just sitting there at San Diego Comic-Con, just like every single one. We're just sort of like, check, check,
Yeah.
check,
And
check.
I loved them all. I'm patient. No, you're not. Keen observation there from Zoe.
Yeah.
And then
She's
they go
a student
fuck.
of human behavior.
Sure is. And then they go fuck, and it's pretty compelling. Pretty compelling scene.
And then she goes home and tells her husband, I guess.
Open marriage.
Let's find out.
Good for them. Good for them. Hal meets the Macons.
Yeah.
He gets arrested. Sheriff Carey. So John shows up to bail him out, and Sheriff Carey's like, listen, I know this guy's game. I know exactly what he's trying to do. It's almost like he wanted to get arrested so that I would put him next to the exact guy that he said that he needed to talk to, and I told him
she
fuck off.
put him
No.
in a broom
She put him
closet.
in a broom closet. She rules. That's just amazing.
Very good.
So he's got to get arraigned. And the judge, much like Sheriff Carey, is like, I'm not really interested in your bullshit, Hal Jordan.
She's
The
like,
whole
what's your
come
authority?
on.
Yeah.
And then which agency are you with? Like, I'm not.
And then Jason Ritter is here. And I just say once again, nobody
stuff.
told me Jason Ritter was in this show.
Delightful. It's a wonderful cast.
I love Jason Ritter.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Smarmy little mustache.
Remember when we spent multiple years and seasons of Yellow Jackets being like, when is Jason Ritter?
And then he had like
Gonna be
allegedly
here.
filmed an episode that they like never aired.
We talked about it so many episodes.
Right. And then he's also like randomly like a background mushroom zombie in The Last of Us.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So when is Melanie Linsky going to show up in this show?
That would be wonderful. That would be welcome.
Or on Matlock? These are the questions I have.
Or on Matlock, exactly.
I believe Jason Ritter's on Matlock.
Yeah,
right
oh, yeah,
now.
absolutely. Yeah.
A show I do not watch, but I support it.
No, but we've seen commercials for it.
Well, I don't watch football. I haven't seen them. I've seen.
Oh, yeah, you don't see commercials.
I
I
have-
see commercials
yeah.
during sporting
Sports.
events. Yeah.
I have seen his like Instagram reels of him dancing in his trailer on set. That's my exposure to
Well,
Jason
he
Ritter
is-
on Matlock.
His Instagram is wonderful because he a lot of cat content.
Oh,
Big,
yeah.
big cat dad. So
He's
he posts some
always
great
been like
reels.
he has
Yeah.
been like
Yeah.
on the
Very
like
good.
sort of meme beat for a long time.
Very good. So he's here on behalf of Dad, right?
Yep.
Hal, you're going to lawyer up? Okay. Hal pulls him aside and says, hey, just one note. Usually the guys who offer me hundreds of thousands of dollars, no strings attached, wind up being the bad guys. Billy's like, oh, there are strings attached, actually. Dad wants you over for dinner tonight. So we learn here that William Macon, this is the junior, right? Billy, married. Junior, married to Sheriff Carey. And our guys are going to go to the ranch. This was definitely the
Carrie
entrance.
doesn't have the Macon last name.
No.
Carrie
Well,
Kane.
yeah. I've got questions about their marriage. All of it. Not
Yeah,
just
right.
the,
Like, is she coerced somehow?
well, just, yeah, like, what
Sounds
is
like
the
someone who has
dynamic?
debt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Hal line about, like, yeah, sounds like a woman in debt about Papa Macon.
Yeah.
But just in general, like, I mean, marriage is tough, but I
Peepaw.
wasn't really catching strong vibes between
Oh,
Sheriff
no.
Carey and Billy.
Oh, she's not interested in Jason Ritter. She doesn't understand his allure. I do, but she
has
doesn't
not
get it.
seen all of his excellent cat content
She
on
doesn't get it.
Instagram and TikTok.
Um,
The entrance to this Macon ranch was definitely the most, I thought, Sheridan coded I mean, we actually get a Sheridan County sign, a bit like the this has a real Yellowstone feel, like pulling onto the ranch, the militia.
But what do you make of the fact that the coming into the Macon Ranch?
Yeah.
Which every time I say it sounds like Bacon Ranch to me. Anyway, coming into the Macon Ranch, study the past is what it says on the entry there, which is half of the quote, study the past if you would define the future. But what do you make of that being something that the Macon family feels important enough to put on their ranch sign?
Well,
like, do they strike you as...
Is it their ranch? Because
you
William,
think the benefactor is like a big Confucius guy.
Well,
or the benefactor is Confucius.
Maybe that's because it's another mystery who's your employer.
Okay.
So there you go.
The
Maybe
benefactor
that's the
is an
answer.
alien who was once Confucius and is now posing as something else.
Or maybe Confucius was an alien.
That's
all
what I'm
along.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's all.
Confucius was an alien, and now
corner.
that person is here. And has written his own quote, study the past if you would define the future or divine the future.
It's all possible.
Yeah.
Whether anything that William Macon says in this premiere is something we should believe is an open question. I think the thing that seems, he's invoking his NDA in the kitchen, etc. Can't share anything about, he's just the caretaker of this property. Joanna can't share anything about who his employer is, who the property belongs to. He is happy to share that he's a student of history, though.
Sure.
Right? That part he offers up freely.
So he's a Confucius guy.
That's certainly
Usually when a guy who's like meat cleavering ribs says he's a student of history, I think of like that scene in Succession when Tom's like, have you read Mein Kampf?
One of the all-time scenes in the history of television. Genuinely. Unbelievable.
That's what that pings to me, not Confucius. But listen, we can contain multitudes.
Listen, Macon is like, Hal, don't worry, I'm not a weird isolationist racist. And it's a real like,
oh, the way that he like,
the
way that he cloaks
you
it,
definitely are.
The way that he cloaks it in talking about the like native population of Nebraska,
right, exactly.
I'm like, give me a fucking break.
Nothing
also,
worse than being the one who's colonized.
Here's my favorite, like menacing thing that he does.
Yeah,
not just the sort of
not
like
the meat cleaver.
Well, not just the like I looked you up. You didn't look me up exchange, which I think is really good.
Yes, I quite liked that.
But the etiquette of inviting a vegan into your home, saying, I got you some tofu steaks, but then doing your raw meat business in front of them is just like, that's...
Well, at that point, does he already know that John did his raw meat business with?
Oh, absolutely, he does. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's part of the intimidation. But it's just sort of like, I have friends with many vegetarians and vegans, and I would never season meat in front of them. No.
Bloody hands as he's creating them.
My hands are all meaty? No. Absolutely. That's a posturing.
Oh, no question.
No question. Putting your dick on the table sort of move.
Quite. Without that. I did quite like that that's either trust or arrogance. I'm
trust, I'm arrogance.
I don't trust anyone in exchange. That was great. The fact that Macon is claiming to be a student of history, but then saying, but I'm not these other things. Obviously very like present day fear-mongering coded in terms of we need to fear anybody who isn't like us. And you agree, you see it, we agree. It was so important, obviously, in this episode that Hal
Are there Americans who feel that way?
that Hal is like, I don't. That's the thing, Will. I don't know if our interests are the same, right? Important, certainly, to have Hal push back on Macon in this episode and say that. And then that question of, like, because more generally what's going on with Carrie and this family dynamic, we get, like, a specific wrinkle where Will's like, I'll clear that brush. You want to talk to this guy? And then tells Hal as they're leaving, you're going to be able to, I talked to Carrie. You're going to be able to go talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Why? How is he able? He tells Carrie it has to happen, and then it happens. What hold does he have over her? The mysteries.
And where was the meat cleaver
amassing.
when he had that conversation?
Indeed. So we had one of the clips that they showed at Comic-Con was this: nothing better than eating off another man's grill exchange. Just wonderful stuff, including.
I'm just very compelled by the fact that Zoe told him directly.
I mean,
it's very interesting.
Same. I'm very eager to learn more about their marriage. I also quite liked on the Hal John front the way that Hal was like,
I'm impressed.
I've barely been here 24 hours. I'm impressed. Just great stuff all around. So a lot of mysteries mounting in that scene, both big and small. Hal's late for the interrogation. Classic stuff.
You know what I just realized reading your notes here, which this section, Hal interrogates Waylon the Alien.
Yeah.
Waylon sounds more like Alien than Hale does.
See, you're right.
If I'm an alien, Waylon is not the name that I am using to disguise
Do you
myself.
think all the aliens accidentally gave themselves names that sound like alien? Is this like if you're going on the lam and it's like the easiest way to maintain the lie is to
because
keep
their
it
name
close
is
to the
Alien?
truth? Yeah.
It's me, Alien. I mean, Waylon.
Exactly. You think that's what happened?
Yeah.
Probably.
Quick rattle of some other names that sound like Alien.
Let's see. Alien.
Nope.
Bailey? Bailey could be one. Bailey. That's all I got.
Okay.
Do you have any?
Nope. But Waylon does. It does more than Hale. I'm just gonna say. More than Hale. The bar's in hell, but it's cleared it. Waylon.
Oh my God.
Waylon the Alien.
Great stuff. Carrie's like, listen, this guy's human. He had to go to the hospital for scans because of his injuries. Pass the scan. All the organs are there. And this is where we get the great no hidden antennas. The plural for antenna is antennae. What's the plural for eat shit? Which just absolutely killed me. I thought it was hysterical. John.
14 alien races can now pass as humans. Secret Scroll Watch.
Nothing here on Earth, no technology can discern that they're actually aliens.
I mean, like, if you cut them open, do they goop? Like, is there any, like, how do we find out?
Right. Is it just like the CAT scans and the MRI and X-ray machines aren't
But
telling
you
them?
slice
But
them
if you
and-
slice
and
them
green
open, then
goo
you
comes
know
out?
it. And if it's like, oh, whoops, that was a person, it's like, shit, too late. I don't know.
Well, just like a little nick. You don't have to, like, cut their head off. I don't know.
You're just asking questions on behalf of Waylon and Bailey, the aliens.
Waylon and Bailey Esquire. Yeah, I'm just always asking questions.
Okay. I thought this interrogation scene between Hal and Waylon was fucking great.
We saw this at Comic-Con, which killed in the like this scene.
They only made like fucking 22 of them. Was so good.
Well, yes. You I'm sure love the like
what a delightful
the
human
Harry Potter stuff
expression.
was really good. The concept of like let's rattle off the things that all American knows, Kelly Clarkson, like et cetera, et cetera. The Barack Obama bit.
The Barack Obama one
just like
was obviously
absolutely
the best.
killed all of Hall H. It was so good. So like this scene was a perfect advertisement.
Some
for
great
the show.
Nebraska football facts, Johnny Rogers, Frank Solich, et cetera. This was it was great. Really, 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 really great. And then Hal's like, that's the rub, right? You learn all of these very specific things.
Right.
Like I'm sure you could tell me everything about the truck you drive.
But not about Kelly Clarkson.
You don't just know what it's like to just be a person in the world. So
ask every member of the Macon family about Kelly Clarkson.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then one of them will say, well, that's just where I hang my hat. And then Hal can once again say, what a delightful human expression. It'll be great. It'll be great. So Carrie. Maybe Kelly Clarkson is also marveling. Everyone's marveling.
Yeah,
Sheriff
instead
Carrie.
of like the Voight Kampf test in Blade Runner, it's the Kelly Clarkson test.
I love it. Sheriff Carrie, just marveling watching this. We're delighted by Hal. And Sheriff Carrie's like, this guy is so full of himself. As this is where she asks John, how can you work for someone you don't respect? And John says, I do respect him. He's fearless. And this is the exchange we've talked about. If you care about people, husband, wife, parent, kid, then you're scared of losing them. First time he strutted up to me, I could tell Jordan doesn't care about anyone and nobody cares about him.
Yeah.
Oof.
Carrie Kane doesn't care about anyone.
He's fucking fearless. He's lonely.
Carrie Kane doesn't like her husband or her in-laws, but she seems like she probably likes her son. So she's got someone she cares about.
Noah made Allstate,
Not by himself. Takes a village to make Allstate, don't you think?
I like that the emphasis was like Allstate insurance.
Yeah.
Like you're the best.
I know so much about football.
You're the best.
Allstate.
More after this episode.
I've watched a lot of Chad Powers recently. So Natty is what they call nationals.
Oh, yeah, Natty. Sure, Natty.
I learned it.
Yeah, got to go win a Natty.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is great. Sports Joe. Sports Joe. This was, I thought.
That's even better than Allstate insurance. Going all the way to the Natty.
The Natty. I thought this was quite cutting and quite cruel as a thing to say about a person you don't know. Possibly true.
But accurate.
Possibly true, but quite harsh. And then Hal cracks Waylon. Waylon dragging all of mankind for caring more about football than the just complete disintegration and decay of our planet.
Who's us here?
Good note from Waylon.
Who's us?
You. Miss Natty.
Allstate?
Miss Natty over here.
Miss Allstate Insurance.
It's like, I'm not going to fall into the hands of the Lanterns, and if I do, I've got a plan for that. I'm not here for peace, I'm here for war. If I'm taken captive, I'm ready. And Hal's like, what? What are we talking? We talking cyanide? And Waylon says, you're thinking very small. And Hal says, then give it to me big. Interestingly, also what I would like to say to Hal Jordan.
It's not get a grip time yet, but I'll let you know when it is.
Oh my God. He just looks so good. Waylon mentions Chekhov's recharge here, right?
Just some rules.
Yes.
This episode is a lot of rules.
You need the lantern to recharge the ring. Do you have the lantern? You've been here 48 hours. Hal's like, I've got plenty of power left. Okay, but for how long?
Yeah. A real, I don't need that Viagra move from Hal. I got plenty in me.
And then Waylon mentions the oath. And something just immediately changes. It changes in Hal's face. It changes in his demeanor. This was really, really a wonderful and very rich moment. Carl, let's see it.
It almost seems like you want to die, Hal Jordan. Does that not violate your precious oath? In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
Harry Potter went to Hogwarts, you ignorant alien fuck.
So what's your I've seen a lot of people interpret that Hal's reaction to that differently. What's your interpretation of Hal's reaction to reciting the oath?
So what pinged for me right away, the way that his face changed, and then the shut your mouth, the I said don't, was that we're tracking this progression across time with Hal, and we're very rooted in the 2016 timeline where he is very cynical, he is very jaded, he has this edge, he has lost some tether to the thing, and hearing that, it's like there is still something sacred about that he will not let this guy sit across the table from him and mock.
Keep my oath out of your mouth.
Yeah, that was how it played to me.
That's interesting. And I really see it that way. And another interpretation I've seen is that that's actually another indication of Hal being like so disconnected from his Green Lanternness that he doesn't even want to like hear the oath.
Oh, interesting.
Like sort of like really two radically different interpretations that mean entirely different things. I'm actually not sure which way I feel about it.
Yeah. No, I think I like that as well. Yeah, both seem plausible, I think, at this point. Couple comments on this from the little featurette at the end of the episode from Damon. What are the non-negotiable ingredients that need to be in a show called Lanterns? One of those things was the oath. We have to get it into the pilot in some way. So this insight into when they were plotting out the show, the fact that there had to be a moment around the oath right here at the beginning, that this is like this elemental thing. And then Tom King said, it's essential to the character. It connects them to what makes the Green Lanterns different than other superheroes, which is the fact that they're a part of a community. So even what you just said, like the other possible interpretation of that, either way, is hearing the oath something that Hal feels protective of? Is it something that reminds him of his distance? Either way, it's to and against a reminder of that thing, that community, the pledge, what it means to have put the ring on in the first place.
I wonder how long it will take us to hear either Hal or John say it. We watched them try to recite it together at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But like I wonder, and like, but it's so earnest.
Oh yeah.
And versus who Hal is.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was another thing with that, like, this is a sacred thing.
Yeah.
And almost what felt to me like a reflexive, like, instinctual response to that. Then there's also a little bit of shame. You know, a little bit of shame of hearing that thing and maybe feeling
I'm not living up to that.
Yeah, the distance from it.
Yeah.
Waylon begins to beep. Are you beeping? Incredible.
Very good.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Why are you here? Why else vengeance.
Fascinating.
Woo!
Theory
And-
corner.
Oh my God. And then Hal tosses him into the corner.
Vengeance for what?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. What do I know?
Alien stuff. Maybe something happened to Bailey.
Justice for Bailey the alien.
Get to Gato.
You know what?
And justice for Bailey.
I'm getting on board with Bailey as it sounds like alien. Bailey the alien, yeah. You're a compelling person.
we do this for work.
Got to get to Gato.
I liked that shot of Hal constructing the bubble and then kind of standing there holding it.
But also, I loved the sound design on the aftermath.
Oof.
That it's not a big explosive sound. That it's the ringing. Really good.
And just the way, also, especially because we are setting so much of the story, it seems, in this place, the way that the explosion reverberates through the town. You know, there's the everybody getting out of their cars, the shattering of the windshields, etc. So we pan up into the sky. We go from day to night. Snowflakes are falling. We pan down. Here's John. He's got a goatee.
Winter is come.
I was going to make a winter's coming next spring, but it's summer joke, so that doesn't work. But remember that? That was great.
That was this year.
Is that true? Oh my God. That really just, sheesh.
I mean, it started at the tail end of last year, but
yes,
you know.
that's right. We talked about the trailers last year, but you're right. The show was this year. Wild stuff. Sheesh. Drives past what certainly appears to be the decimated Macon Ranch.
Someone wasn't a good enough student of history.
If you do a little freeze frame Mahoney on this, the gate is visible there, the walls, the fence, etc. So something's happening here. And he meets Carrie. They hug, they embrace, you know, you haven't aged a day, asks about Noah. So I thought this was an interesting way to show us like that they clearly grow close enough and fond enough of each other in the events that we will watch across this season to greet each other warmly, to ask about family, but not so close that John already knows how Noah's doing.
And it
Kind of
helps
interesting.
us understand the passage of time. That kid we saw is now a high school quarterback.
That's right. Dude, if you're all state in Nebraska, like you're getting a legit D1 scholarship. You might be going pro.
Okay, little Maddie Saracen. Little Jason Street pre-accident. I mean,
Noah.
the Matt Saracen vibes with the throwing the football through the tire were very
Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. So they walk in. Does anyone else know? Just the groundskeeper? Know what? Hal Jordan's fucking dead. Or is he? On the bleachers, as you noted, in the same spot. And this is a big decision. This is a big twist.
Bullet hole
In the head.
in the head.
Blood dribbling down his face. No ring on either of their hands. I think probably many people, given the way that this show was positioned as the trainee.
And in all the trailers, my replacement sort of thing.
Thought it was entirely possible that Hal Jordan might die at some point in this show. I did not anticipate that we would see that Hal Jordan died in the first episode. I think this is really smart to show us this, but to do it in a flash forward 10 years into the future, because it allows them to say like, and we know that Jon Stewart is in the next Superman movie. Like Jon Stewart is going to be a huge part of the DCU.
As the Green Lantern.
So
something has happened. I mean, but also, again, if Guy Gardner is also the Green Lantern, like maybe just the rules are out the window.
We are marching toward a tragic thing. What is the state of their relationship?
Well, but here's my question for you. Yes, like in some ways, in terms of TV storytelling, this is a sort of Better Call Saul tactic of like Better Call Saul, if you've ever seen that show, has a flash forward at the beginning where you see this like many years in the future, what is going to happen to this character. So that's just looming over this character. You're watching it the whole time. And it is like contrary to what some people think, which is like, oh, it ruins everything that I know he dies. On the contrary, I think it can be really powerful storytelling to just have that like
I agree.
fate looming.
Yeah.
Would it be interesting to you or disappointing to you if Hal is not dead in some way? If that's an alien and not actually Hal, or any number of other like comic bookery hijinks that could ensue to make it that's not Hal at the end of the day.
Interesting question. I think on the one hand, given that to some degree in a comic book universe where we are so accustomed to resets or some version of this person is back for some reason, either because the thing we thought we saw wasn't exactly what we thought we were seeing or some other reason, that possibility is almost like, I think, always in our minds.
You mean coming from D23 when Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. were on the stage?
Could have something to do with it. Yeah, could have something to do with it. And so, maybe there's always a little part of you that is primed for that possibility. Would I think the question of how I would respond to it ultimately will depend on how it's handled, if that is in fact what happens. However, I think that because this premiere, which was really strong and really rooted in this relationship between Hal and John, and also just specifically Hal and his journey, his relationship to the idea of being Green Lantern, to choose to end it in this way was such a bold decision and stroke. And so,
you don't want them to undo it.
I don't think I want them to undo it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Especially
agree.
because, as you said, there are so many ways to give us time with Hal without having to undo it.
Theory Corner is always open for any
Always.
possibility. We'll hold these theories loosely and we'll think about them. But I agree with you that to make this a sort of big shocking moment of the premiere and then to walk it back somehow, I think would be somewhat narratively disappointing. Again, there's so many workarounds in terms of the 10 years in between that they can cover, or the hologram. I don't think the hologram is a cheat. I think that's just something that they've set up they could use forever. I also have fresh in my mind us talking to Ryan Condal about House of the Dragon and him being the way we got James Norton is that we said it was just one season. So do we get Kyle Chandler to say, hey, Kyle, you're going to have to wear this superhero suit, but also A, not very much, and B, only one season, you know? That would be a bummer for all of us.
It does feel completely possible.
But it's very possible.
Yeah. I really like that they did this. I gasped and I was like, oh no, but then very quickly really came to like and admire this decision. And I think the multiple tragic interpretations of this, depending on where we find Hal and where we find Hal and John together, do they become very close and brothers and lean into that version of their relationship?
How do you read John's reaction to seeing
heartbroken
his mentor's body hair?
Yeah, heartbroken. I mean, he wasn't
but stoically so, because that's his way.
Yeah, he wasn't oh my God, and now the ring is mine. It was a tender, gingerly lifting of the hand to take the ring. But it's that's kind of what's interesting to me about it, because we don't know what exactly is ahead for this version of these two characters. Obviously, there's a ton of story about the relationship between Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. But for this show's version of this tale, if it is really tense and really rocky and the conflict and the tension remain very palpable and present in their relationship, and then Hal's gone, then that is deeply tragic in its own way. If actually there is a breakthrough and a camaraderie and a partnership and a kinship and a fellowship that forges, and then this happens, then that's tragic too, right? And obviously also given that line we got from Sheriff Carey just about, fear and the connection to loss, we were talking about what we'll learn, hopefully, about Hal's relationship to those ideas, but this is a loss for John. So what will John's grief look like?
Right. And in terms of his ability to connect, again, in that Jedi sense, he's been trained to fear nothing, to be so stoic, but what will Hal crack open inside of him? What will their relationship crack open inside of each other? It's interesting to think about a second season of Lanterns, which, there have been some conversations about the writers that they're engaging for that and what that looks like. But to your point, if Aaron Pierre is showing up in the current timeline as the Green Lantern, do we want a Lanterns season 2 that is 2018? You know what I mean? Do we want to keep just mining the past for this John, or I don't know, just something to think about.
Any other theories you want to toss out?
Not right now.
About dead Hal, about Bailey, about anything?
Anyone could be an alien.
Yeah.
Is what I say.
Yeah.
And can't wait to find out.
Same. I can't wait to keep potting about the show. Delighted that the premiere was good. What a thrill.
I hope it maintains.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. May it be another Penguin experience where the skepticism turned into euphoria while watching it. You
That's
know?
my preferred. I don't know. I just I'm just wired differently. I prefer to be a little storm cloud and then be pleasantly surprised by something.
Not me. I'm like, Mando and Grogu will change our lives. And it did. Just not the way we
Just not
thought.
the way you
All right. That is the D23 news and notes
Vision Quest.
conversation. Vision Quest is legitimately less than 2 months away. I mean, it's around the fucking corner.
I'm so
Unbelievable
excited.
stuff. Unbelievable stuff.
Doomsday is also this year, but most importantly to me, Vision Quest is soon. And then we got to get to Gato.
Get to Gato.
Got to.
D23 News, Lanterns premiere. We will be with some of you in Baltimore this Thursday. We
I
can't
know.
wait. And
In
then
the
we will
rain or
have
no.
rain or shine. Rain or shine. And then we will have the episode from the warehouse posting on the feed a day or two after that. Exact timing TBD.
A mysterious show.
Everyone's
But a
traveling.
show that I think people will like.
Yes,
We have a plan.
we do. We do.
There was a plan.
It's like you sound like Nick Fury. Incredible.
That was a reference.
You're the best. Thank you to our team, our guardians, you know?
Our core.
That's right. Carlos Chiriboga,
Mhm.
Scott Lee,
Mhm.
Jacob Cornett, Jeff Shearin
Jeff. Yeah.
joining us today.
Brand new.
Delightful. Arjuna Ramgopal, Jomi Adenaron. We will see you on Thursday at the yard.
Stuff full of crab is what I've been told.
Just covered in Old Bay seasoning.
Smeared. Bye.